We are back. Good morning and welcome to the Roll Plus Bond first anniversary live stream. We are an online TTRPG community brought together by fandom and kept together by friendship. And tomorrow is our first anniversary.
Woo!
So, yeah! So in celebration, we have been playing games for you on stream for, as of now, 56 hours, if I'm doing the math correctly.
Yes, and all of us have been there the whole
Oh
time.
yeah, no sleeping allowed this weekend. And all of this is in support of Raíces. Raíces Texas protects and advocates for the rights of the immigrant and refugee children and families coming into the States. To donate, you can head to donate.rollplusbond.com or you can hit !donate in the chat and a link will come up. You will also have a chance to win a free game if you go through there. And so far, we have raised just over $1,700. So we're just over halfway to our goal. We'll see if we can get there in the last 18 hours we have left. Look at all the math I'm doing this morning.
Oh my god.
Can I just point out the number? It's specifically 1,704 with 20 cents for 20 Blaze It. Just want to say.
Of course. We're kicking off the EST morning with Good Society, a Jane Austen RPG full of drama, nonsense, and shenanigans by V. Hendra and Haley Gordon. You can find all of their games at storybrewersroleplaying.com and follow them on Twitter at storybrewers. My name is Adela, and I will sort of be facilitating this morning, although Good Society is sort of a GM-less game. It's one of my favorite games, and I'm excited to play it as part of this event. Also, my pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on Twitter at Aredel, AREDHEL__. And joining me today, we have Illy.
Hi, I'm Illy, she, her pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at Hyphabole, that's HYPHABOLE.
And we also have Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric. You can find me on Twitter at Ernst Mocker, ERNSTMOKKA. At some point, I need to change the username, maybe. Who knows? And you can check out all the games I have made. Most of them are video games, but there's also one tabletop game on there at mocha.itch.io, mokka.itch.io.
And last but not least, we have Zero, who is actually one of the frequent playtesters for Storybrewers and is the one who first introduced me to this game. Zero?
Sorry, I unmuted the live stream and not my mic. And it's like, whoa, what's happening? Hi, yeah, I'm Zero. My pronouns are he, him. And yeah, I played a lot of Good Society despite having not read any Jane Austen. Apologies for that. I read one chapter of Sense and Sensibility, but I did watch the movie. Alan Rickman is far too much in that movie. It's just so much. The way he says the air is full of spices, too much.
I have yet to watch it.
You should watch it. It's great. Emma Thompson's amazing. Anyway, yeah. So Good Society, as mentioned, is a game was created to like emulate the structure of a Jane Austen novel. To that effect, that it is primarily GM-less. There is a room for a facilitator, and there's no dice rolling in this game. We've created characters. We've created like connections to those characters that everyone else will be playing. We're going to like fate. There's like a structure where we basically, play out our characters' desires, their relationships, potential scandals, rumors, write letters, confess feelings, hide those feelings because society's just too damn much. Yeah, I love this game. I think I played too much of it, far too much. Hopefully, we'll get a sense of how this game is played as we go through with this. It's fairly straightforward. It's all collaboration, basically, as mentioned, because there's no dice rolling. Everyone kind of like has a say thanks to these like handy resolve tokens of anything they want to introduce into a scene. Usually drama. My experience, almost always drama.
As you can see, Zero has clearly loves this game a lot, as he forgot to introduce himself and just launched right into explaining the game.
I said my pronouns. Honestly, okay, fine. All right, I should do that. You can find me on Twitter at lpondoc. That's LPONDOC. The letter L, not L like a luchador. So I think it's pronounced the pondoc. Honestly, what you mostly find on Twitter is me tweeting where I'm playing Good Society. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I'm in another live stream next Thursday next week. Anyway, but yeah, really, it's all just Good Society.
And I am very glad to have Zero here. As you can probably tell, there might be some co-facilitating happening if I need Zero to explain some things. All right, with that, I think we will introduce our wonderful characters. And I have my funny email signed in. Whoops.
yeah. The chat did notice that. Like, woo!
Let me just.
RVs.
Oh! That is an excellent address, though.
My roommate made that completely unaware of the joke in the server.
Oh my god.
It's funny because on the side of the screen you can now see that we are down to our last 4 games, and I can no longer scroll up or else we will have nothing underneath there. All right, let's introduce our characters, starting with Zero. You can introduce your characters and then your connections and say who's playing them.
Yeah, so for this session of Good Society, I'm playing a lovely lady by the name of Clara Sinclair. Use she, her pronouns. She's 27 years old. Oh, I should mention part of Good Society is like we do a collaboration phase. I probably should have mentioned that in my rules explanation. And we basically decide what the tone and and some important stuff about the game. I should mention for this one shot, we pick the tone is romantic comedy, which is basically actions have consequences, but past misdemeanors can be recovered from. Historical accuracy is somewhat important, but the main thing in regards to these characters is gender. How we treat the gender power balance, it's going to be off. So basically, it's normal and acceptable for people of all genders to have significant respectable careers, make the first move, inherit entailed estates, and have marital relationships with all genders. I mentioned that because Clara's in the military. She comes from a military family, but she's not really interested at that. She's wayward, dark brown hair, shrewd eyes. Yeah, wears military wear. Hence this somewhat anachronistic looking jacket in her picture. She's not as tall as she'd like to be, unfortunately. She's known as the wastrel of the Sinclairs. She only served 1 tour, and she spent most of it behind a desk. What's up with that? Clara doesn't try to care for much beyond what can distract her. She's been sent to this lovely seaside town of Bashful upon Sea after, amongst small violations of propriety, the main one being flippantly but vocally proclaiming her intent to marry outside her station. Her family hopes that the sea air and genteel nature of the town will help her find some perspective in life. And the connections, because of Good Society, we create 2 connections to our characters. They'll be played by the other players as well, which is fun. Clara's first connection is the vicar. Sorry, I remember the name now. Jesus. The vicar Albert Dankworth. People call him Bertie. Or friends. Clara's not a friend. Well, somewhat. Bertie Dankworth is the vicar of Bashful upon Sea. He's the stentorian pillar of moral strength in the town, who's quite dismayed at the influx of all these like noble gentry, aka the other main characters, using his town as a respite for their own woes. He's trying his best, and he's going to be played by Eric today. which I'm looking forward to. And the other connection that Clara has is Prudence Butterworth. Her, 19 years old. She's a local girl. She's like a less wealthy mentee of Clara's, because one of the connection suggestions for the meddler is a uh, is having someone to mentor as well, because Clara thinks she knows how to fix other people. And Prudence is basically a local girl who wants adventure in the great wide somewhere, intrigued by all these out of towners with larger than life stories and wants to be part of those stories. Basically, a Disney Renaissance protagonist. Adela's playing her.
All right, Ely.
Okay, so my main character is Lady Marjorie Bithersea, and I'm playing the Dowager playbook. I don't have the playbook pulled up quite now, so I'll just introduce Lady Marjorie in the meantime. She is 55 years old. She was married to Lord Bithersea for over 30 years. It was a companionable marriage, but not really a marriage of love. He died a few years ago, and since then she has re-entered social life in full force. She's been going to London for the season and spending a lot of her time at the seaside. She's a stately woman with greying hair and laugh lines, and she dresses in fine clothes, but they tend to be on the eccentric side sometimes. She is Mauve Orderly's aunt and Clara Sinclair's mentor. And her desire is to marry her secret fiancé, who is my next connection. So the first connection I have is Catherine St. Clair. That's Charlotte St. Clair's mother and my fiancé. She looks a lot like Charlotte. She's a slight woman. She's a good head shorter than her daughter. She was widowed 5 years ago, and since then she's had a difficult time providing for her two daughters and depends on the kindness of wealthier relations. And her son Lennington is in the military. And this connection will be played by Eric as well. My second connection is Wentworth Wetherington. He's Lady Marjorie's butler, and he's been the Bithersea family butler for close to 50 years. He's tall, always impeccably combed, though his hair is getting quite sparse, and he always makes sure that any passing tradespeople, coachmen, messengers, street urchins, what have you, get a hot meal in the kitchens. And he's something of Lady Marjorie's confidant as well. And he will be played by Adela.
All right. And Eric.
Hi. First of all, I love the reactions in chats to all the names. It's so amazing. I'm going to play Morph Orderly or however you want to pronounce it. It's very, very strange. Uses she/her pronouns, is 24 years old. I'm using the Air playbook and come from an old money background. My desire is to best or humiliate my cousin in every matter and win my aunt's inheritance. My cousin, just to remind yourself, is Clara Sinclair, and my aunt is Marjorie Bithersea. So we already have a bunch of drama ahead. My relationship, I'm cousins with Clara. As a description, Morph wears her olive hair in a kind of purposefully messy way. Think about it as you at first glance it really looks like someone just threw a bunch of hair around, but as you look closer at it, it actually took a lot of time to make it look like that. And when given the chance, like when there's a specific dress code at hand, which like at that time and in these kinds of societies, basically all the time, she will always try to like slightly like be inappropriate or be transgress that dress code in some way, but not like really overtly, but like in some slight way, just to express that she kind of stands above this stuff. And she was sent to Bashful-upon-Sea after getting caught falsely accusing a rival of cheating at lawn bowling, and her parents like.
Yeah, we prepped characters
This is
before.
new
We
to
didn't know
me.
about this. Yeah.
Oh my god. I know a lot about lawn bowling just because I had to prepare for this stuff. I actually watched a match on YouTube.
Oh my
Oh
goodness,
my
you're more
God.
prepared than me.
There's lawn bowling matches on YouTube.
Yeah, there's like you can watch a lot of like niche sports on YouTube. Like it's fascinating. Anyway,
Okay, be right back.
Anyway, after getting caught falsely accusing a rival of cheating at lawn bowling, Morph was sent to Bashful-upon-Sea by her parents to avert any further damages to the orderly's name. So she's kind of sent there as like kind of a punishment, and she was sent to her brother, her much older brother, Teal Orderly, who is 42, uses he/him pronouns, is going to be played by Zero. Things like his opinions about Morph is he thinks Morph is a bad influence on his daughter. He's a member of the local gentry, owns quite a lot of land near Bashful-upon-Sea, has very tight and proper clothing, and a very tidy mustache, which is like really important, black hair, and always has a very neutral expression on his face. So like he's like basically very much this like English stereotype of stiff upper lip, like nothing really phases him, like at least on the outside. How it looks on the inside, we will see. My other connection is Fuchsia Orderly, who is 19, uses she/her pronouns, is going to be played by Illy. Fuchsia is Morph's niece, thinks that Morph is a very fascinating person, is the daughter of Teal Orderly, known for her careless personality, and her whole demeanor is kind of messy, even when she tries not to, which basically means like her clothing is always kind of like slightly off, and her hair never really sits in the right place. Like even when she really, really tries to, like something always kind of when goes wrong.
Never impeccably combed.
Yeah. And that's my characters.
All right, and my main character is Lottie St. Clair, Charlotte or Lottie St. Clair. She uses she/her pronouns, and she's 25 years old. I'm playing the dependent playbook, which means that I am dependent on a benefactor to provide for me and my family because of hard times, and I come from humble origins. My desire is to bolster your love interest's reputation and then win your patron's permission to marry them. And I am in love with Clara Sinclair. When Lottie's father, Sir Edmund St. Clair, died 5 years ago, he left the family in a lot of debt. Now they have lost their house and have to rely on the charity of their cousins, the Montgomerys, to survive. But in exchange for welcoming the St. Clairs into their home, Lottie is obligated to chaperone her cousin Veruca about the town, while her younger sister Olivier is set to nanny the younger cousins, and her older brother Lenny is sent off to war to provide for the family. And for her look, Lottie is tall with wispy light brown hair, worn in a tight, low bun, unassuming but serviceable and slightly out of fashion clothes, probably her older cousin's cast-offs, and she has many freckles because she spends as much time as she can in the sun and wind. And then my connections are my cousin, Veruca Montgomery, who will be played by Zero. She/her, she is 18 years old, she is Charlotte's cousin. She thinks that Lottie is a shoulder to cry on and a nuisance to have around alternately. Why is there an R beside here? Okay. Veruca is beautiful, fierce, full of life. What a charming, lively young girl Miss Montgomery is. Very vain and full of contempt for those of lower class and reputation. And then my second connection is Brooks Brighton, who will be played by Illy. They use they them pronouns. They are 30 years old and they are Charlotte's new friend. They think that Charlotte is sweet and hard done by and deserves better. Brooks is a recluse who lives in a cottage on the cliff on the opposite side of the beach from the town, spending most of their time bird watching, reading, and pining for their fiance Lenny, who is in the military. That, if you did not realize, is Charlotte's brother. And there you go. Those are our 4 characters and our 8 connections. Should we talk a little bit about the town before we jump into scenes?
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, do we even need to play? Do we need to sully all these characters with actual play?
Yeah. Are you guys good with just character creation? We can be done now, or
Yeah.
Oh, I did have to explain to the chat the Sinclair St. Clair thing is a coincidence.
Absolute coincidence. They are not related.
They're not related. Yeah.
And that was an accident. We both did pick those names without consulting each other.
Yeah.
Who would like to talk about the location that we're in?
I can talk about it a bit.
Go for it.
Can you scroll over? Yeah, we've
Yep,
got
I
the
did.
nice mood picture here. Essentially, the town itself is on a cliff, and you go down a sort of winding path to a beach down below. It's the typical South English stony beach. And then you go up on the cliff on the other side, and you've got this scenic ruin that I believe we decided was a fake ruin, like one of those follies people used to build. And yeah, so the town itself is up on the cliff, on another cliff opposite this castle, and I think we decided that Brooks lives on this cliff, and they're really annoyed because of all the tourists coming their way when they just want to be sitting there watching birds. Yeah, I think we've just got a nice sort of British seaside resort vibe going, with a promenade on the beach and some kind of nice pavilion, and lots of little houses up on the top of the cliff, and yeah.
All right. Does anyone have an opening shot that they would like to tell us about what your character is doing right now as we open the story? If nobody has an idea, I can start with mine.
Go ahead.
Sure. Lottie this is early in the morning because Veruca sleeps in late, and the only time that Lottie has to herself is quite early in the morning. She is up on the cliff near Brooks's house. I don't think she is with Brooks, but she is up on the cliff, just standing and watching the sunrise and enjoying the wind blowing into her from the sea.
Very nice. I can go next if you...
Yeah, go for it.
Good.
Nobody wants? Yeah. So our opening shot of Lady Marjorie is her walking arm in arm with Catherine St. Clair through an ornate garden, well kept, beautiful flowers, lots of ornamental bushes, and nice big banks of herbs. And they're just enjoying a nice walk through the garden, and I think perhaps stopping once in a while to smell roses and just having a nice time.
Lovely.
Just as a question,
Sure.
how long do we think our characters are here, or are we kind of free to choose?
I don't think we didn't quite discuss that. I was thinking not very long, a few days to a week.
Okay. It's kind of like my just the idea that I have is basically Morph has just arrived maybe, or maybe it's just the day.
Yeah, we can all
after.
have arrived at different times as well.
Yeah.
We're not coming
And
together.
Yeah, I
It's
think Lady Marjorie's here for like a month or so. She's just in some, I don't know, probably some kind of estate that sort of belongs to her as well. I don't know. She's filthy rich. So she's just come to the seaside for the spring season.
All right. Question is, has Catherine also been there for a month? Because that means that Charlotte must have been there for at least a month, or else she would know that Catherine was not at home.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that
What
is
do you
an important point that we forgot to mention, is that Charlotte does not know that her mother is engaged to Lady Marjorie.
Lottie. Charlotte. Right, Lottie. Charlotte.
Yes.
Yes, I keep thinking. Wait, who's Charlotte? But,
I will try. I'll
yes.
stick to Lottie.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I was just confused for a second there because I thought that was the previous name you used. I don't know. How long have you been there?
Oh, do you want me to pick?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's more about your character, really.
It's about all of our characters.
Oh yeah.
We don't know who the protagonist is yet.
Yeah, true.
I think like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Sounds good. Then I think probably your mother arrived maybe a week ago or so. But
Yeah.
you haven't met.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Eric or Zero?
Do you want to go, Zero?
Sure. I think we kind of get a shot of this stony beach, and then we see Clara from profile view, step into view. She looks wayward and kind of bedraggled, just looking out to the sea. She's trying to cut a brooding figure, I think, or at least the framing is making it look like she's a brooding figure. Then we cut to a shot of looking straight at her in the back, and you can see there's a bunch of tourists on the beach, so it's not as brooding as she'd like it to be. And she kind of just sighs at all, not at the noise, but at the conversation she's hearing, all the little petty and she just kind of crosses her arms and just kind of staring resolutely to the sea, almost kind of wishing she can leap across the sea to other places.
Oh my god. And Eric.
Okay. I think what I have in mind is you have a shot of a carriage driving up along I don't know, pebblestone path up to a larger estate, and Mauve exiting out of it once it reaches the front gate, and two figures coming out of the mansion itself, being both being Teal orderly and Fuchsia, Fuchsia running ahead of Teal and greeting Mauve and immediately making way for her father, who kind of we can't really hear what he's saying, but says something strict or sternly, and has a fairly stern and featureless expression on his face, like always. And we can kind of see that Mauve is slightly frustrated by being told off by her older brother in some way, but listens to it and nods, and then they all enter the building. And I guess a bunch of servants carry the numerous coffers and luggage behind them.
Excellent. All right, so the way this works is we have a cycle of play, and we're going to start with a novel chapter, which we already discussed we would like to do visitations. And basically how visitations works is everyone who wants to do a small scene, tell us what scene you want to do, and then we just play them out and see what happens. Does anyone have a scene they would like to start with? If you're not sure about a scene to do, you can look at your character's desire or their relationship to help you figure something out. You can pick other characters to be in the scene with you. And see how
I
things
kind
play
of
out.
have an idea.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because like, what's the thing when you arrive at a place that you might have to do when you have relatives nearby? You have to visit them. So I guess like, kind of like at first like obligated to go visit your aunt while you're here. Go do that. And I would like to visit Lady Marjorie if that's possible.
Of course, dear.
That's cool. So where do we meet? Like,
Do you come for tea?
I guess so.
Yeah, that's the proper reluctant attitude. Yeah, I think probably, I don't know, in those days, probably you write a letter that comes by the 2:00 post and that you've arrived in town, and I invite you to tea. And Wentworth fixes some nice tea and cakes for us. And I think this is just a nice sitting room, probably. Very, plush furniture and big windows. I think the whole house has this sort of seaside feel with a lot of white wood and a sea view, definitely.
Are there any paintings in the room? Or art pieces?
Oh yeah, I bet there's some watercolors that Lady Marjorie has painted herself.
Oh, you paint those yourself? You're so talented, Aunt.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. Just a little hobby of mine. I dabble. But how have you been, Marv?
She sighs.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
There was a misunderstanding.
Oh.
Like she stirs in her teacup and thinks about what to say, sits it down, and you know that I like to play lawn bowls, and
Yes.
father and mother never really they kind of let me do it, but were always you're not gonna be good at it anyway in some ways, and I kind of wanted to prove them wrong, and it didn't go that well.
Oh, my dear.
But I don't see why there's a problem. I wanted to win, and that's what we are supposed to do, right? By any means. Father never really gets into any trouble when he breaks the rules. So why am I being punished for it? I don't understand this.
Oh, you broke the rules. Oh, but Marv, I mean, that's what games are all about. If there's no rules, then there's no point to them at all, is there?
Yeah, it wasn't really the problem that I broke the rules. Someone else broke the rules, and people accused me of manipulating them to breaking the rules. But I
Dear me, that sounds very complicated. Now, I don't know much about lawn bowls, but I think if you enjoy it, you should play it. But perhaps You shouldn't take it that seriously.
What else is there for me to do? Like, it's all tea and going to sleep and dancing at balls and waking up. Maybe.
But what do you like doing? Is there anything else you enjoy? Or is it just lawn bowls?
I have to be careful not to put myself in a corner here. I guess, and she looks kind of like far into the distance out of the window, thinking, and then I guess I can try and find out if there's something I like doing. Maybe
Yeah.
when I'm over here.
Yes, you should
Do
just
you mind me visiting once in a while? I rarely see you. And
Not
you
at all, dear.
must be lonely. So like only with Wentworth in this very large mansion, and I kind of
Well,
once if like I'm already here, I could visit you and we can, I don't know, have tea together like every day.
Well, I do have some other social commitments, but you're always welcome here, of course. Just make sure you send me a note before you come, and then I'll have Wensworth fix something for us. But you'll find that there is quite a vibrant social life in this town. I think you should just go out, meet some people, enjoy the seaside air, and who knows, maybe try your hand at painting.
Oh yeah, I will definitely enjoy spending time with all these country people. Imagine I said something a bit slightly sophisticated there.
Can I introduce a mechanic from?
Yes,
Sure.
go for it. I was gonna do that, but yes.
Yeah, I want to spend a resolve token. Now, resolve tokens are basically they're an invitation to collaborate. Basically, someone has wants to get a character to do something or wants to change kind of like the dynamic of the game. Like, say, I want to spend resolve tokens so that a storm will happen and the two of you are trapped together in this manner, so you have to talk to each other or something like that. Not that's an example. That's not what I want to do. What this resolve tokens I want to give to Lady Marjorie for her to mention, oh, by the way, your cousin Clara's in town.
Okay.
Maybe you should spend time with her.
That is an excellent idea. Yes. I mean, you say country people, but I mean, Clara is here.
Oh, Clara.
Oh, you always used to play together so nicely when you were a girl. What is it now?
Yeah, sure. I could
Have you had a falling
out with a soldier. I could spend time
she's
robbing through the mud with her.
You know she doesn't do that anymore. She's here in town. She's living the social life. I've heard that there are even some marriage prospects for her. I'm sure she could introduce you to some nice young people your age. I mean, you're very welcome to spend time with me, but I do think it would be good to spend time with people your age as well. You'll have such a grand time.
I guess I could do that. Maybe Clara has learned something.
Are you guys good with that?
Takes a sip of her tea. Yes.
Nice. And that's the tea.
And that's the tea.
Very good.
I have something. Unless Zero, you have something right now?
No, go ahead. Actually, pacing-wise, it'll be fun to jump to Lottie now.
Okay, so I think that Lottie comes back from her little walk in the morning, and Veruca is awake and ready to go and annoyed that Lottie is late, even though she is at the same time she usually is, and usually Veruca is not awake yet. Veruca wants to go for a walk along the cliff. And I think that Actually, no, a walk through the town. And I would love for if we bump into Mauve and Fuchsia. Probably Teal is also there, but Zero will be playing Veruca, so we'll just pretend Teal is not saying anything, which I think is not hard for him. But I'm assuming that Teal would not allow Fuchsia to go with Mauve on her own, unless he would. Yeah.
Cool.
So
I think Veruca is complaining about something as always. I think she has like your hand in like a vice grip or your in a vice cradle, I guess. Arms linked, and she's telling you that like, oh Lottie, I've had the most frightful of dreams. Do you know that I dreamt that like in 5 years' time I would still be unmarried and still be out there in the market for everyone to look at.
rude. Love being the older chaperone to your younger cousin, and not married yet.
I love how this applies to basically every one of us.
Absolutely. I think Lottie just sighs and pats your hand and says, "I'm sure you'll meet someone soon. There are plenty of young ladies in this town."
Yeah, there's plenty of young ladies, but it's so much work. Well, how does one find who's the perfect one for oneself? I mean, surely you must have some advice on this matter, dear cousin. Oh wait, your cousin, yeah, your cousin's right.
Yes.
I'm getting caught up in the scene. Dear cousin, after all, you must have had. And she's trying to find the words. And she's just looking at you with like eagerness, I guess. Just some eagerness and curiosity in what you'd say. You must have some advice that you could impart to help my prospects.
Might that be a good moment for
I
us
was just
to
gonna
barge in,
say-
or do you want to say something like a long, embarrassing pause and then I don't know.
Do you
Fuchsia,
like your family kind of just comes out of a shop or something right as we're walking
Yeah,
past?
I think strolling down the path or something.
So Veruca's also been there for about a week then, is that right?
Yes, yeah, that we came together.
Okay.
Mhm.
But maybe if Fuchsia and Veruca have met once or so?
What do you think, Zero?
Or is this the first meeting?
I think they've probably met. Like if the orderlies live here, and
Yeah.
although probably more met once than just know of each other. 'Cause it doesn't sound like Veruca put much effort into actually meeting people.
Yeah, that's true. So, oh, look, Mauve, that's the Montgomerys. They're
Oh,
new in town as well.
you do tell. I guess we should pay them a visit then, right?
Excuse me, it was Veruca, right?
I think Veruca was like staring at, was staring expecting at Lottie, and then she kind of turns almost like with a bit of a pursed sort of lip because she got someone's like coming and saying, "Yes, it's Veruca Montgomery, and oh, you're
Fuchsia Orderly. Met briefly the other day.
yes, you're sorry, out of character. I was wondering, does Teal have a title like Lord?"
You can imagine someone you're playing him.
Oh yeah, I'm playing him. Oh yeah, I am. Yes, you're Lord Orderly's daughter. Yes, it was charming to meet you. Was it was it at the fete, or was it at the gathering, or was it the Bible reading? Apologies, I've been through. There's been so much to do here.
Oh yes, we do keep quite busy here. This is my cousin Marv.
A pleasure to meet you. And I like limply hand my hand over.
She's new in town too. She arrived just yesterday.
Haven't put off the gloves.
Yeah, I think Lottie just kind of like
Veruca.
looks at the hand. Oh, Veruca. Veruca kind
Starts
of
already.
A lot of names. Yeah, it's starting already. Veruca looks at the limp hand, and like raises an eyebrow, and then presents her hand, and then is waiting for Lottie to introduce her, even though she
She was the one who started the
said.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my dear cousin Veruca Montgomery. Of the... Oh man, I didn't think of a name of the town we come from. Of the something Montgomerys.
Ramsbury, that's a town
There
in
we
England.
go. Of the
Ooh,
Ramsbury...
Rams.
No, that's hard to say together. Of the Ramsbury
Oh.
Montgomerys.
Oh yeah, man, that is hard. Stoke.
Sure, of the Stoke Montgomerys.
Stokington.
Stokington Montgomerys. Yes, that one.
Well, Stokington. Isn't that rather far up north? Must be like dreadful weather out there all the time.
Well, it's nothing to write home about, but it certainly gives you a bracing dose of character.
Oh, I can see that.
Yes, well, I have found that the sunshine here on Bachelor-upon-Sea definitely gives the orderlies a certain charm.
Yes. And who's your chaperone? Is that the word you're using?
I feel like you would say something like you're just your companion because you
Escort?
wouldn't know
Yeah,
at this
okay.
point
Yeah.
that
That's
she's...
your
Yeah,
companion.
Yeah.
The-
I think Veruca. Were you waiting for Veruca to introduce Lottie? Because she's not going to.
Yeah, I think
I
it'll be like
look
a short...
expectantly at Lottie.
It's like a short pause as Lottie waits for Veruca to answer the question and then realizes she's not going to. My name is Charlotte St. Clair. And she holds
pleasure
out
to
her
meet-
hand to shake.
Yeah, shake your hand, and then that's a very interesting dress you're wearing there. I haven't seen that in quite some time, but you wear it well.
Thank
it suits you.
Oh, are you new in town as well?
Yes, Veruca and I came together.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, Charlotte has been a darling companion for our family in these times. She's ever the dear.
Nice to meet you.
I feel like I'm good with that as scene, just
Yeah.
to introduce
Yeah.
the characters to each other.
Mhm.
Did you kind of like
Right.
want what's like kind of like the not the last shot, but like because I do want to keep the focus on Mauve and Lottie since they're the main characters.
Mhm.
Kind of like as we kind of like break away these two. Is there like any I don't know, I guess not last shot, but like is there any like last thoughts about the other character from Mauve or Lottie?
I don't think that Morph has an opinion just yet. Maybe that's like
fair.
why Lottie is there, because Morph has no like idea about Lottie's situation, like
Mhm.
why she has to like take care and all that.
I think Lottie is just a little bit taken aback at Mauve's character and the way that she interacts with people. It's like, huh. but is also like kind of side as they're walking away, like kind of side-eyeing Veruca, being like,
Uh-huh.
And
perhaps a
Veruca's
good
kind
match. Yeah.
And Teal was there.
And Teal was there.
Probably just walked by them.
Just walk past.
Zero, do you have a visitation you want to do?
Yeah. I say yeah, then I went I don't know what the frame of the scene. I just want to get the vicar on screen.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. I think probably like Clara was just passing by the church. She has a tendency to go for long walks because the one thing I forgot to mention in character introduction is like she doesn't try to care for much beyond what can distract her, and nothing can distract her here because it's all small town. But yeah, I think she's probably passing by the church when the vicar Dankworth sees her, and Clara probably sees him and is going to like make an effort to like, no, I'm gonna walk faster now.
Oh, Clara! Pleasure to meet you at this, I guess, morning.
Yeah, I would say it's morning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Vicar.
What
Vicar
have you been
Dankworth.
doing outside?
Oh well, in
The shade.
enjoying the sights. Bashful Ponzi has so many lovely features, so it'd be a waste to just stay indoors, for extended periods of time, looking at no one but each other in a dark room. It seems there could be better things one could do with life.
Yeah. Also, the what I always feel is like the air here, like really helps clearing your mind and really helps your joints and bones, which obviously is not much of a problem for a young person like you, but at some point it's going to be helpful, I guess.
Oh well, you're the one with experience, Vicar. I wouldn't countenance what you have to offer. Was there any reason for you to call upon me? I must get on with my walk.
I just wanted to know how your day is going. Like, there's so many new people coming into town lately, and I kind of want to keep track of everyone and kind of want to know and understand why everyone is here also, and like what everyone's like what do I say? What everyone's not really sorrows, but a slightly different word. Like, think of something. I can't right now. Are
melancholies? I don't know.
yeah, like what they're
Woes?
like, how they woes are, because he's still a vicar and kind of wants to like, he still cares for like the souls of everyone in his community in some way, but also like about the moral integrity. And yeah,
I think Kara gives the vicar like a curious look, and she says, "Vicar, I thought God cast you to be a fisher of men, not a fisher of gossip."
it's like one can lead to the other.
Well, I know you have nothing but the town's best interest at heart. I think Kara's like, she has this look as if like, ooh, maybe this would be a good distraction. And she says, What do you know of those who've come by recently? Or at least where to start. If I'm to look through whoever's coming by for your benefit, Vicar, at least like to know who I'd be looking into.
You kind of got me there.
I would say like because you're the vicar, a lot of gossip does pass by through you, I suppose. Like a bunch of people talking like, "Oh, who are these orderlies? Who are the Montgomerys?"
I mean,
that's okay.
everyone kind of like. I can't think of anything. I mean, I don't want to say like tell me something about my own character because I find it kind of strange.
Oh, no, Clara's asking like, is there anyone in particular? Yeah, you want that the vicar wants to know about, like,
especially the ones that recently arrived, like the Montgomerys have arrived, right? And like I think the orderlies also had a new arrival. And I heard that some people have saw someone who they haven't really seen that often coming out in and out of like Lady Bithersea's estate as well. Why am I involving all of my characters with my other character? I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. That's how it works.
The game.
This is the game.
Bertie Dankworth is like observing all of these people, so you don't have to be in scenes with them.
It's about like the moral integrity and what's going on.
Yeah, sure. That's what Bertie says.
He's tending to his flock.
Yeah, I do think Clara's been here longer than at least the orderlies and the Montgomerys. So that's why they have this rapport, her and the vicar. I think if you mention like the Montgomerys, and you don't have to like speak it out loud. You can just like narrate what the vicar's saying.
And then I guess the vicar's saying then, okay, I guess I'd be going then. I have like baptism to perform. This is something vicars do, right? I don't really know.
I think so. I think so.
He does.
Yeah, even in the Church of England, yes.
Yes. I think Clara's almost talking to herself because you mentioned like the Montgomerys, because she knows at least if the Montgomerys are here, then there's another person who'd be here, and she says like, I wouldn't want to get in the way of your work, Vicar Dankworth. Would it be untoward to ask if I can call you something else?
Oh.
I feel like, and Clara's like patting your shoulders now. I feel like in the short time I've been here, you've certainly persisted in making a connection.
Okay, give me a moment.
You okay?
I'm not okay, but it's good. It's good. But please, please call me Bertie. That's fine as well.
Bertie. Well, I'll endeavor to do so in the future. And she pats you on the shoulder. Strides off.
Have a nice day. And he draws off to his church.
Oh goodness.
Bertie Dankworth regretting his curiosity.
So much.
We have reached the first hour. Would you guys like to take a short break before we move on to the next bit, or we could finish? We could do the next bit of the cycle of play first, and then take a break.
I don't think I've had a visitation yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Let's do yours first.
Shall we do that and then take a break?
I got mixed up because we had all of our characters and all of the
visitations. I was in all the scenes. Well, scenes.
Yes, go for it.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd like to see a scene between Lady Marjorie and Clara Sinclair, because I'm mentoring you. What exactly am I mentoring you in?
How to live in society.
How to marry.
Well,
marry well.
We're related. Probably my family's asked you to like, can you like, well, not set her straight because this is gay as hell, but like.
Set her up at least.
Yeah. Actually, yes, set her up with someone, please.
Yeah, and I mean, Lady Marjorie did make quite a good match as well, so she knows a thing or two.
Yeah. So, is this more tea or something, or is this like do
Um,
you have like a garden that we're walking in?
yeah, yeah. Perhaps we're walking through the garden. I'm sort of once in a while bending over to deadhead a flower and pluck some weeds out and just sort of generally wandering around the garden.
I think probably Clara is there, just a bit distracted. She's probably not really paying attention to what Lady Marjorie is saying, and it's just kind of like just poking at a flower.
Clara, what is it? You seem distracted today.
Oh, do I? Well, that's a decent accomplishment. I don't think I've been sufficiently distracted since I came here, if you don't mind me saying so, Lady Bithesy.
Oh, you must call me Marjorie.
Marjorie, it is. It's. Well, I wouldn't call it a distraction, more like an attempt at a distraction.
Oh, have you met someone?
If I have, would you. Well. What would you. How would you react to it?
Oh, my dear, I would want to know all about it. You know, I just want to see you happy.
Well, it's not so much met, more. Well, I do want to clarify with Adela. Our characters have obviously have
Yes.
met since you're in love. Yeah,
We are. I think we're like in a relationship. We just not officially, but I think we decided that
Yeah,
the feelings are mutual, at
yeah,
least.
yeah. Uh, uh,
Also, I just want to point out that Cinder in the chat said "Lady by the sea."
hey, bye.
She sure is.
And we're back. Sorry about that, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently,
Back.
Adela's computer was
So
like,
much
"No,
good
you should
stuff.
break now."
Yep. Where were
So
we?
how much did we?
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
ask
not
the chat.
sure at
Oh,
which point we
I
dropped
think it was
out. Yeah.
just after Clara had said yes, she's met someone, but you haven't talked about who it was yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so do tell me about them. Anyone I know?
I think Kara's kind of like back to poking the flower. It's like, well, it is a bit of a problem because I'm not sure if it's anyone you would know, and well, you know how Mama's particular about certain strictures of society.
Oh, yes, yes. She always was like that, even as a girl. Now, Clara, I know your mother asked me to make sure you have a good match, but take it from me. I made a good match once, and it was fine. But meeting someone you love, now that is something very special, and that's not something you should have to choose between. If you've met someone you like, then it shouldn't matter their station. I'm sure when they see how happy you are, your parents will approve.
Well, that's the other matter, isn't it, Aunt? I have this reputation for being flippant and fair-weathered, and it's gone around enough that I fear that it might start becoming true. And I would like to be sure that whatever this is more than just fine. Uh, Your Lord Bithesy, he was surely a good man, right?
Yes, he was good and he was kind.
Was that not enough?
Well, at the time, I thought so. But, no, I think love, that very special feeling, that special connection with a person, I don't know if that is something you can replace. If I could do it all over again, he was a good man, he was kind, but I never did love him more than one would love a good, kind companion. So, if you have the possibility of love, my dear, you should take it.
Want to pay another resolve token? I keep giving Lady Marjorie my resolve tokens, and soon I won't have any.
Oh no.
I when she's talking about this, I kind of want her to like let slip of that she may have found love recently.
I thought she was hinting
Yeah,
at that the whole
I
time.
you definitely don't have to give me a token for that.
Okay, all right, yeah. I just wanted like something a bit more concrete because
Okay.
Clara would I don't know, Clara would immediately pick on
Okay,
that. She might be a bit suspicious, yeah.
Right, let me redo the last bit then, sort of roll back a bit and at the time I thought it was a good match and we did have a good life together, but now that I know what love really is, I would not do it that way again.
I think at that Clara like just raises an eyebrow. She probably feels there's like something there, but like she doesn't want to press because Lady Marjorie's like the one person she gets on with.
Oh.
And, at least in this town. And so she says like, well, I'll keep all that in mind, Aunt Marjorie. And I think she kind of like clams up.
Oh. I think Lady Marjorie sort of tries to get her to open up a bit, but when that doesn't work, they just go back to walking through the garden, I guess.
Wonderful. So we could do. So we've done our first novel chapter.
Mm-hmm.
We should do reputation, and then we could maybe take a break, or we can do reputation and rumor and scandal. Because by both of those, actually, let's do reputation, and then you can think about rumor and scandal and epistolary while we have a break, so you have some ideas. I'll talk about what those mean after we do reputation. So you need to look at your character playbook, which I did not link to you guys.
I want to correct you. You look at your family background.
Yes. I will grab the
All right,
doc.
yeah.
Oh, do you guys have it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've
perfect.
got mine.
So you're going to pick a reputation tag to add to your list, a positive or a negative. And you don't have to pick ones that are actually from your list. That's just ideas.
Yeah, and you have criteria there to like see if you match up to any of them.
Exactly.
And you can get both a positive and a negative.
You can get one or the other or both. For example, Charlotte is from humble origins, so my reputation criteria is I gain a positive tag if I acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised my desires, acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so, sacrificed or denied my own desires to please someone of higher rank.
Yeah, everyone has the first two except for everyone has the first two, and the third one's usually like unique to that family.
Right. And then my negative tag one that's unique is presumed to order, instruct, or make a demand of someone of higher rank. I don't think I've done any of those things yet, so.
Yet.
I don't know. Lottie might get tired of Veruca's nonsense at some point.
I wouldn't blame her. Let's see. I think one of the unique negative tag for military, and I should mention the generic ones. It's acted in contravention of society's conventions, acted on desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality, and for the military one, it's publicly displayed strong emotions.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see how that entire interaction with the vicar is not just being reckless and weird.
That's true.
So I'm gonna gain the negative tag blunt. And I realize I'm getting the negative tag blunt after interacting with the vicar Dankworth. So that's coincidental.
That's just the name that keeps on giving.
It is an actual name. It was in a blog of like
list.
obscure.
Yeah, it was
British
that
surnames
list.
that are dying.
Yeah, it was the like 10 English surnames that are dying or something.
Yeah, I'll grab the link and put it in chat because there's some fun names on there.
Oh yeah, I think Bithesy is from there as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the other option besides Bithesy? Bithesy
I
Shore?
had something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bithesy Shore was the other one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's some good ones there.
Yeah, and I don't think I gained a positive tag. The thing is, like with these criteria, it's not so much if you think your character did a good thing. It's more like how does society judge you?
Mm-hmm. Which is very Jane Austen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm not sure if I gained any tags, to be honest. I didn't act in service of duty or morality, didn't act in obedience of society's convention. I didn't make a sacrifice or deny my desires to uphold the superiority of my rank. I didn't act in contravention to society's conventions. Well, I indicated it maybe a bit, but I mean, that's the closest I'd get. Acted on desire in a way that compromised my duty or morality. Or allowed others of lesser rank to talk down to you or treat you as an inferior. Unless we count Mauve as being rude. No, you didn't really. You were just being impetuous, as you to do.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine to like not gain a tag as well.
Especially,
like,
I always find, especially when we do visitations, because they're smaller, with less characters, it seems less like the society as a whole would have an opinion about what you've done. But
I'm kind of like in the same. I don't think that I like did anything to earn a tag. Like I didn't do the usual and also like denied your desires or made a sacrifice to uphold the family name. I don't think that I'm ever going to do that. I think that Mauve is that kind of character. Negative tag would be shamed or embarrassed the family man. I haven't done that yet either. And also like acted but I guess that might happen.
Feels like something that might be more in line with what Mauve might do at some point.
I expect it.
All right, so next up we're going to be doing Rumor and Scandal, which each of us will have to make up 2 rumors about the characters, any and or all combinations of the characters on screen. And so you can think about those while we take a short break. And then after that, we'll be doing epistolary, which is when you have the opportunity to send 2 letters to any other character from any of your characters. So we can also think about ideas for what you would like to do there. And we'll do you guys want to do a 5-minute break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see everybody in
Good.
5 minutes.
Back in a minute.
All right. just a quick reminder that we are doing this charity live stream in support of Raíces, and you can donate at donate.roleplusbond.com. Thank you to our last couple of donations from Orthgodlove, who says, "This is my new favorite anime." Thank you, Orth. That is an honor.
Yeah. In your face, Hyron.
Yeah. Just kidding. Love Hyron. Anyway, and also Lynn, who said, "Who needs 2 swords when you can have 2 donations of $20?" Thank you, Lynn. And so we're going to move on to reputation, or not reputation. We're going to move on to rumor and scandal, which I just have to amend what I said before. You have 2 actions that you can do during rumor and scandal. You can create a rumor, and then you can also spread a rumor. So if a rumor has already been created, you can spread it instead of creating another one, and that means that rumor is actually happening in action. Is that like it is?
Yeah, basically, spread means you can use it as a resolve token. Well, that mean
You can be
when
like,
you create a
I've
rumor,
heard this rumor,
yes,
and
yeah, and you can use it
therefore
to change.
this should
Yeah, you can
happen.
use it to change. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we can just go ahead and start typing in rumors that you
Or
think.
you can use it to make it happen, or just use it to like get someone to do something. Whether they like the rumor or not.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a rumor, just jump in and start typing it out.
Yeah, I have a rumor. That the lady Marjorie Bithesy is having an affair with her butler.
Scandal!
I'm fainting.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Sorry, conducting an affair. That seems more scandalous.
Ooh.
There we go. I've typed that in.
I have a rumor that Clara St. Clair was dishonorably discharged from the military.
Oh man.
Ooh.
It's like I spelled that correctly, right? Not
Yes,
completely.
you did.
Not
Yeah.
Oh, no E on the
not
end,
completely.
I don't think.
There's an anonymous Ebex around.
Oh, whoops, that's
It's
me.
like
Speaking of Orthgodlove.
Wow.
all those references.
Yeah.
We should mention this is a tabletop role-playing group who was brought together by a mutual love of friends at the table.
We
If
should
you
mention
didn't
that, actually,
notice
yeah.
by all of the references we've made in the past 5 minutes. I would
Sorry,
like
Eric.
to spread the Clara Sinclair rumor. Should point out this is players doing this, not characters. Because my character would not want that. I want to. Do I want to spread a rumor about my own character or someone else's?
If I know anything about this game, it's always fun to like work against your character.
Hence why I spread that rumor.
Just as the clarification, are rumors only about the main characters, but also
Nope,
about
they can be about the
minors?
minor characters as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that in mind.
I want to do something about Veruca. I feel like it might be too early.
I mean, it's a one shot, so maybe.
Yes,
go
that
all
is
out.
true. I'm just trying to think of what rumor could have spread so far. Maybe just. I think I have a rumor. It's very simple. Oh no, I'm trying to type on my laptop again. Veruca Montgomery is in town for the sole purpose of finding a match.
Ooh. Not to wait in. Oh wait, no, you said Veruca, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm getting confused again with characters.
That's your character.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is my character.
Finding a match to match her own her fierce character. Match to match. Her own fierce character.
I think there's also a rumor that Fuchsia has been seen running around the moors with
Ooh.
local farm girl Prudence Butterworth.
Oh, I love them.
Oh my god.
Which is, of course, completely inappropriate because she's a farm girl, for God's sakes.
Also, the moors are dirty.
Also, the moors are dirty and there's sinkholes and there's rumors of a beast upon the moors. Get some Conan Doyle in here.
I'm gonna spread that rumor.
Yes, very good.
By the way, I just imagined the vicar was spreading all those in the town itself.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, yes. I was literally thinking that when Clara was talking to the vicar, I was like, is the vicar the one who spreads rumors in this town?
Yeah.
It's just like
Confession,
part of
huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just part of his like oh goodness.
Like he's got a confession booth and you go in there and hear the newest rumors.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
Ooh, I saw House in the chat say crossover game combining Jane Austen and Arthur Conan Doyle. They are working on that. The designers of this game are working on a murder mystery module.
Amazing.
Funny thing here is like I imagine like the scandal that Morph caused, like in my imagination, she was kind of like uncovered by some kind of private investigator or something.
Ooh.
Like there's a different novel where this happened and like she stormed off angrily after being uncovered or something.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I have another rumor.
Ooh.
And it is that Mauve Orderly was caught cheating at croquet.
Oh. I don't play croquet.
What a scandal.
Wow. Mom of Orderly with all these just crimes. What a rap sheet.
Can I put down another rumor or spread one?
You have one more action, I think. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm now torn between either putting down the rumor that the vicar is actually not a vicar, or spreading that rumor.
Do it, please do it.
Yeah.
Please do the rumor.
We can't spend the rumor, but like it'll be out there.
Yeah. Just putting it out there is important.
This has to be like.
Has to be well.
Halcyon in chat says, "In bashful open-sea, the vicar confesses to you."
Or does he?
Or does he?
Somebody does. Oh, that's very good.
Great. All right, we should move on.
I think we've all had our 2 actions, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, this was very good.
This is too much.
All right. So next up, we have to do epistolary. So if anyone has letters they would like to send to any other character,
Yeah, you don't have to like write it out. You can just say what the letter says. You have up to 2 letters. Some folks like to like dictate it out loud, or basically just monologue for free.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not comfortable like dictating exactly the way their letter is written, you could just say it says this. Like, yeah, paraphrase. I have a question, Zero. Does Lottie know that Clara is here yet?
I kind of wanna save it for the next novel phase.
Okay,
Because
so
we
so
decided it's an
we are
event,
not
right?
sending any letters to each other, or maybe I'm sending a letter to you back home and you don't receive it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
I feel like I might do that, but if anyone else has an idea to do first, I can think out what I'm gonna say.
I do have one letter. I think Lady Marjorie is sending a letter to Catherine Claire. I haven't quite decided where she's staying, really. I mean, she's not staying in the house with Lady Marjorie. I think she's probably staying with some.
Maybe you
This is
have-
confusing, but
maybe you have like an estate or some smaller
Yeah.
property a bit further out.
yeah, something like
Or
that.
guest
Anyway, we've
room
been
somewhere.
meeting daily, and we decided to hand wave any obvious plot holes here. So. So anyway, I think Lady Marjorie is writing a letter just because on that day they didn't have time to meet because she had to have tea with Maud. And, my dearest, I'm not sure I can dictate it out loud, but something like, oh, I missed you terribly today when I did not see you, and it really brought home to me that I do not want to spend a single day without you anymore. I know you have concerns about telling your family that you have found someone new after your husband's death, but it would mean the world to me if you would find it in your heart to tell your daughters and perhaps move in with me. Of course, your daughters would be most welcome to stay here as well. And I await tomorrow with bated breath because and I love you most ardently per request of the chat. Yours, Marge.
Mm.
By the way, I was kind of planning to at some point. But,
Sorry.
No
You
problem.
can still say it. Double ardent.
double Arden.
Everyone says it.
Yeah. Like this is
Every
like
letter.
how like it's the way how you say goodbye in this town.
Yeah.
Most ardently.
Farewell most ardently. I hate you most ardently.
Uh-huh. Vicar, I must confess most ardently. Like, to be
Most
honest, I don't
ardent
even know if
vicar.
there's confession in the Church of England, but
It is in-
I think
it-
we're
it
just
is
deciding there
definitely
is.
Yes. The vicar is
Which-
deciding there is
which-
because the vicar
Yeah. It's
doesn't
like
know what
further,
he's doing.
Further,
There-
like feeding the rumor that he might not be.
There is confession in the Church of Bashful-upon-Sea for sure.
I kind of want to write a letter back then as Catherine
Oh,
to
yes.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Marjorie. How do I like phrase this? I feel like Catherine is like would very much love to move in with Marjorie and proclaim their relationship in public, but she still needs more time to be ready for it in some way. And she's also like what's really I think holding her back is that she still feels like she's already dependent on the help of the Montgomerys, and now when she's moving in with Marjorie, even though Marjorie doesn't have a problem with that, it's still like she feels like she is taking her charity in some way then, and doesn't feel good about that.
Catherine.
And that's like why she's still hesitant. Imagine that I wrote this in a very flowery language. I'm not so good at this.
Yeah.
So.
That is quite all right.
Aww.
I love them. Lottie is writing a letter to Clara addressed to her home in, I forget the name of the town we said we were from. Stokington?
Something like that, yeah.
Stokington. All right. It is addressed, my sweet Clara, and then it just says, it's a little, like a description of her, how much she loves this town, and how much she hopes that they will be able to stay a while, even though it seems like Veruca is not enjoying it as much as she is, and like slight subtext of being annoyed with Veruca, but not explicit in the letter.
Lottie is so pure.
And the only thing that I wish I had in this town is the opportunity to spend time with you, but you are not here. And Clara won't get that letter because it's being sent to Stokington.
Aww. Yeah. Parallel to this, Clara is writing a letter to Prudence. It goes, "Dear Prudence," and yes, I just got that. That's gonna happen. That reference. "Dear Prudence, you asked me at some point of the kinds of interesting people that I knew. Well, it just so happens that a gaggle of them have arrived in Bashful upon Sea, and well, I would very much be interested in introducing you to them. I only ask that, well, should they make mention of myself, that you would tell me what they say. I hope that's not too much of an imposition after all. It might be a tall order, but I do believe that someone as eager and forward as you can rise up to the task." Just to clarify, Clara is sending Prudence to make friends with Lottie, just to confirm. Yeah, do you still like me? Because she didn't get that letter from Lottie.
Oh, baby.
Well, I'm allowed to send a second letter.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Wait, hang on.
Oh?
So sorry, I was slightly distracted checking something. You sent a letter to Prudence.
Yes.
Asking Prudence to check with Lottie if she still likes Clara.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Got it.
No. Clara and Lottie are going to meet up. We're established that,
yes.
but Clara is going to introduce. Oh yeah, because you're playing both characters. So
Yeah. No,
basically,
it's fine.
whatever
I
Prudence
don't have
has
to
to
do
say
a
can
scene.
be.
We could just say that
Yeah.
Prudence has visited like I guess we've met at some point, probably Veruca, because Veruca is meeting the other
Yeah.
people her age, and Prudence is also her age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot that. Like, oh yeah, you're also playing Prudence. I'm forgetting a lot of things today. That's weird.
I think Lottie will send a note. I guess she'll get out of Prudence where you're staying, so that she has an address.
Oh.
And she'll send a note that says, basically, I suppose you'll miss my other letter and read it when you get home. But if you are free, I'll say tomorrow afternoon, I will be up on the cliffs near the ruin.
Oh.
And would love to see you. And it's just, and then the sign off is most ardently yours, Lottie.
I want to. Mauve wants to, or is writing a letter to Clara. About like that her aunt was both of their aunt, however you want to say that, was like informed her that Clara is also in Bashful upon Sea, and that they haven't really met since Clara made the decision to join the military, and it would be such a nice experience if they could meet up again and catch up and maybe talk about things, how things were in the military, and how like she's getting used again to civilization.
Mom is the worst.
Wow.
Oh my god.
To the civilized lifestyle. Let's say it this way. Sounds a bit more sophisticated, but that's the same.
Oh my god.
Can I just say, I love the way that Eric is playing Mauve, and the way that Zero is playing Veruca. They're so perfectly matched to the characters that I was picturing for them from Jane Austen. It's amazing.
It's fascinating how easy it is to just be like awful to people.
When you're in a highly stratified society. Jesus.
Does anyone else have any letters to send? I've done my 2. Zero, you've done 2? No. You've just done 1?
Yeah, I have a short one. I just kind of like want to bring some of the characters in. I think this is a letter to Lady Marjorie, actually, from Teal Orderly, who I'm imagining is as neutral in his letters as he is in real life. Well, in real life, I mean, in fiction. I think it just goes to the Lady Marjorie Bithesy. It has come to my attention that my sister, Mauve, has been in your company in the most recent of days. I suppose you must be aware of the stories that have been dogging her. And since she has given quite a bit of her time to yourself, I hope to enlist you in ensuring that such stories will not bloom in this town. Given your, actually no, let me strike that. I hope that I am not burdening you with too much. I I treasure your straightforwardness, and I hope that that forwardness would be passed on to Mav. Yours. Teal Orderly.
Absolutely not ardently.
Absolutely not. God, no.
The only thing he's ardent about is his mustache, I think.
Yeah.
Could Brooks write a letter to their fiance, or should it be an
Yeah.
on-screen character?
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I've seen people do that. It's nice to get some character, especially if you don't have an idea for your second letter that involves all the other characters. It's
Yeah,
perfectly fine.
Brooks hasn't really been on screen, and they're very good. So I think it's just, a letter talking about interesting birds that they've seen, and I think they probably write every day. They don't get responses quite that often because it takes a while for post to get to Lenny. But I think they just talk about their day, and this time they're also talking about having recently met Lottie, who is Lenny's sister, right? Do I have this right?
you are
Yes,
correct.
yes. So I finally met your sister, and she really is a very sweet and dear young woman. She really, she doesn't have it easy. Her cousin certainly keeps her quite busy, but she seems very sweet, and I do hope that she will find some happiness here in town as well. Yours most ardently, Brooks.
Oh. Anything else? I think everyone has sent to except Eric, maybe, or have you? Oh, you
No,
have
I
sent
had.
to.
Yeah, one from
Yes,
Catherine, one
right.
from Monk.
All right, so we've done
Yeah.
epistolary. We have another novel chapter coming up. A very exciting novel chapter. So, we decided for our second novel chapter that we're going to do an event, which is a much bigger scene, basically, that takes up the whole chapter and has all of the characters, or most of the characters, in it. And we are going to be having a ball on the beach, aka a beach ball.
Yeah.
Oh, we're the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we said that there's a pavilion that is built down on the beach. Did we settle on whether it's a pebble beach or a sand beach?
We said Pebble Beach because then someone could twist
Right.
their ankle and have to be carried away.
Oh yes,
course.
yes,
What a
yes.
reasoning.
Excellent. All right. So we are having, I think it's in the evening, and there are lights. There are lights around. I'm imagining the pavilion to be kind of like a very large gazebo type thing. So it's open air,
Yeah.
and there's lights. The sun is not setting yet, but it's on its way. And
I think there's like a string quartet playing or
yes,
something.
naturally. You know what we should do?
Mm-hmm.
We should describe what we're wearing and how we
shit.
enter the dance.
Yeah, ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Damn,
not-
I did not prepare for this. Why did I not prepare for this? I knew there was a
I'm not
dance
hacking
coming.
firebrands into this game, but we should describe what we're wearing and how we enter the dance.
Are you sure you're not?
I mean, would you like to? Because we could if
No,
you
it's
want.
fine. It's fine. We don't. I don't think we. Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
So, hmm. I think Lady Marjorie is wearing a dark green dress. It's probably satin or silk. Something very shiny and falls very beautifully, and it's a sort of fabric that keeps you cool on a warm day and warm on a cool night. So very convenient. And I think it's a sort of empire cut. So it has a very high waist that's sort of right below the bust, just goes straight down. Very long dress, and I think her hair is done up in a bun as usually, but with a few like pearl pins or something in there, and she's probably wearing some kind of necklace. I think it's a necklace with a locket. We don't know what's in the locket.
Oh.
I don't know what's in the locket.
Oh, we'll find out.
And I think she. This is interesting because it's down at the beach, and you have to walk down. You can't drive there, so I think she probably.
I'm imagining
She's
that
probably
there's like a
wearing
gravel path that goes down, so
Yeah.
it's not like you're climbing down. But
Yeah, but I do think she's wearing rather sensible shoes, more sensible than you'd perhaps otherwise wear to a ball. Just like, or perhaps sort of like ankle boots or something like that. Those tied up boots, laced up boots, and I think Wentworth accompanies her there just to make sure she doesn't fall and twist her ankle. And then I don't know whether he sticks around.
nice.
Yeah, I think she just comes in and starts greeting everyone.
Nice. Is Lady Marjorie hosting the ball? Like, did she throw this event?
Maybe. Yeah. Good. Sure. Why not? Oh yeah, I bet she's sort of, because it's, you come there for a longer time. It's sort of expected that you participate in social life actively, which also means hosting. And maybe it's something like the town's annual spring ball, and she's sort of
It gets hosted by a different, or
gets
like
yeah, exactly,
sponsored by
something
a different
like that.
rich family every year.
Yeah, something like that. And also, of course, it's a wonderful opportunity to get her girls into society. Mauve especially needs to meet more people.
I think, can I describe myself and Veruca because we're coming together?
Absolutely.
So I'm sending a picture in the chat. I think that it's not exactly these outfits, but the one on the right is the height of fashion, which is what you see in a lot of Jane Austen movies, which is the small puffed sleeves just off the shoulder with bare arms but gloves, and a wide open neck with usually a necklace there. Very high empire waist again. And I think that Veruca is wearing one. What does she look like again? I don't think I described what she looks like, but I did.
No.
I did make a picture of her, and I don't remember. Oh, she had black hair. I think that it's like a light purple, with sort of a lace overdress thing around the skirt, like this picture does have. Oh, someone already put it in the chat. Thank you. And Lottie is wearing, again, something from Veruca's older sister, and it is mourning clothes, not mourning as in M-O-R, not M-O-U-R. Slightly better, but from her older cousin, and they're from about 5 years ago, so they're slightly out of date. They're long sleeves, high neck, like a blue, soft blue color with black edging. But I think that she has her hair done the same way that it's always done. And I think on the way down, she picked a flower and put it in her hair without Veruca noticing. Or maybe Veruca noticed. I don't know if Veruca would care about that. And yes, they come in arm in arm with Veruca, expecting to be introduced by Lottie to everybody. Who wants to go next?
Ooh. All right, let me scroll through Google Images just a bit more.
Maybe I can start then.
If that's okay.
I don't really have like a clear, like I looked at like 19th century like fashion earlier today, just to get a vague idea. I think what Mauve is wearing is like a dress that's way too like big for the occasion in some way, like way too many layers. Like I think it's kind of warm outside, right? And it's not the right dress to wear when it's warm outside.
I think we had talked about it being like June.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, it's kind of more like an indoor dress anyway, because like where like Merv usually goes to balls, it's usually not outside. So like most of her fashion isn't like directly geared towards that, and it's like incredibly like lots of layers. Like when you look up images out of that time, you can kind of see like where the skirts are like just like gigantic, and go like very far out, and like also with shoes that are not very suited for the kind of underground like on the way there, and it's like kind of grumbling to herself when she gets there, because like it's not very pleasant in general. And I'm kind of debating on whether or not she wears like a hat. Like I was thinking a top hat.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like I have to like go with the slightly inappropriate for what's the dress code is, and like
you can
I don't know
whatever
like...
you want. She can wear a top hat. Let her wear a top hat, please.
But I'm not going to give her like she won't have a monocle. I think that's the top. The top hat is okay.
You sure?
Yeah, sure. Like you
Maybe
don't.
she does sometimes, but not for a ball.
You don't have to like to go all out on extra. I think we have to hold something back for the people like to imagine. Maybe no. Yeah. Then I think it's mostly like almost everything is black. What she's wearing. Not a lot of colors. And yeah, and it's like kind of. I guess she's like following her brother and Fuchsia. Like it's kind of lagging behind a little bit, because it's kind of like I don't have the right like I mean, in some way, she's not really like she likes to transgress, but like having a dress where like basically, it's kind of what I currently have like sometimes outside when it's still kind of winter, but already like it's starting to get warm, or this and a bit too warm anyway, and you get it outside in like your winter clothes and think, oh, it's way too warm. I should like wear something else, and that's like what Morph felt when she went outside in her dress and couldn't go back and change because it takes a long time, and she doesn't actually have anything that might work better. So she's like a bit frustrated about things.
Okay, Zero.
Yeah, don't have much other than Clara comes in like military dress, for sure.
Military fancy.
Yeah, military fancy, whatever that means. I hate that this is where I'm looking at. I'm looking at a picture of Finn and Poe from Star Wars. Yes, the gay ones in Regency era uniform. I hate that this is what I'm looking at.
Post it in the chat.
Pictures.
You can't just say that.
I can't apparently. I can't. I can't. So I'll just put it in the chat here. Yeah, specifically Finn.
As well.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, specifically Finn there to the on the left.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the coat is a bit darker, but I'm imagining that red lining. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that would suit her so well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And with that tie, God, they look just so natural together. Wonder why. Yeah. So about Finn and Poe. Yeah. So that is kind of like exactly what like I imagine Clara, except like the coat. Yeah, it's a bit darker. Like she comes in soon after Lady Marjorie.
Can I ask what her hair is like?
Oh man.
She has it down in her portrait.
Yeah, man. Does she ever? Ooh. I'm not sure. I think that's like. I think she doesn't like putting her hair up. I think she always has it down because that's kind of like. That's something she kind of refuses to concede.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I think when she kind of like enters, it's with a bit of caution, I guess, because she had a plan, but she didn't expect Lottie to like just invite her to like straight up meet. So for the moment, like she's trying to like keep to herself. Well, she can't avoid like having to talk to people, which.
Can I retcon and say, because I forgot that we were doing this scene immediately after. Can I retcon and say that Lottie asked to meet at the ball, not just randomly up on the cliffs, is what she said.
Very.
Yeah.
One question I want to like run this by you before I like do something. Would it be appropriate if I spent a like resolve token to have like Catherine appear as well?
Oh, you can spend I
mean like
I think we were thinking that most of the characters are here anyway, but if you want to spend a resolve token for a specific interaction to happen with Catherine, you can say that.
Because like it's like secret fiancé, and I don't know how much I want to like barge into that one. But I kind of like it just like as a thing like that she like appears kind of like surprisingly, and maybe like you can do something where they miss each other like a few times.
Oh yes, classic.
So you'd actually spend Lady Catherine's resolve tokens because connections have their own, and you'd be giving that to Lady Marjorie, I suppose.
Yeah.
Jeez, Lady Marjorie creating a pile over there.
Yeah, what do I do with this?
You can spend them to do whatever you want. Make everything. You have all the power now.
But you're all doing such great things. I have nothing to add.
You can create a storm. You can make lilac capes in for the season.
These are two excellent ideas. Yes, I keep forgetting about the environmental factors. That's good. Yeah. Let's see what happens tonight.
You can make someone trip. Yeah.
Okay, so what is it you want from me? Is
Lady Catherine.
from
you mean?
Lady
Oh.
Marjorie?
I think it's just it was a resolve token to have Catherine be there. To have Catherine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
for them
take the
to be-
token, but she was going to be there anyway. Again, no, I was assuming everyone would sort of be there, and this would be the great sort of dancing around. Are we going official or not? Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think like what I think is like maybe you mentioned the ball in the letter as well, and she was kind of like, maybe I don't know, and you weren't
I mean,
quite sure if she would come, and
right. Okay, we can do that.
yeah.
You're playing her, so
like we're doing
can
like a romantic
absolutely.
comedy thing. I think we have to do
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
interaction do we
probably.
want to see first? That one, because since that's what we've been talking about. That.
Yeah. Why don't we like make a list of like interactions
Yes,
we want to see?
we should make a list.
Yeah.
So Lady Marjorie
need-
and I will type these into our chat.
Yeah.
Lady M and Catherine.
Also, Lottie meeting her mother.
I was gonna say Catherine and Lottie.
Catherine, Lottie and Clara.
Lottie and Clara.
Of course.
Lottie, Clara.
I want Clara and Mauve.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Clara and Mauve. Mauve and Veruca.
Oh yeah.
We're committed to this now, aren't we?
We have to do Fuchsia and Prudence, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Like if we have the rumor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Can Clara talk to Prudence first before that?
Oh yeah, I'll put that ahead of that.
Yeah. Because I think Clara's like, what did I just say? Oh, I didn't say to not mention that I was here. That's kind of the gist.
Right.
All right, here's I made a list. Do we want to switch this order around a bit?
Yeah. Oh, I do want to mention that, like, I know I floated, like, we can do another cycle. Yeah, we're probably not going to do that.
Let's have some things happening at the same time. So if there's characters that are not, so like Catherine and Lottie can be at a different time than Lady M and Catherine. But
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, these are all going to happen like semi-simultaneously. That's fine. Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, this is probably going to take up
the whole
good.
Yes. Yep.
Which is perfectly fine.
Yes.
What that would mean, though, is that, like, if this novel chapter is going to be, like, the finale of this session, that means we're going to skip Reputation, and the last epistolary is going to be epilogues.
Yes.
Is that okay with folks? Or
yeah,
do we want
assuming this takes us over an hour, I guess an hour to do.
Which probably won't. I'm just being.
Yeah.
I just know where we come from. It's just...
That is true. We know who we are. All right. So, Lady Marjorie and Catherine. I keep wanting to say Lady Catherine, but she is not Lady Catherine. That is another character from a.
Ooh.
Not yet. Oh. Yes.
I mean, what's my desire, huh?
The ladies bid the sea.
Okay, so I'm probably sort of standing. If I'm hosting this or co-hosting this, I'm probably standing at the entrance and greeting everyone as they come in, and maybe Catherine comes up.
Yeah, I think like fairly late. Like maybe you were about to like turn around and get everything going, and Harry's like, I have no idea how like she dresses or anything. I haven't thought about that. Because he could have or should have maybe like described it, but I guess like in kind of like an old like something that was maybe in fashion a few like years ago or something.
Yeah,
she wears it very well, but like the people that might like take umbrage with like wearing something that is like a few years old might turn their nose up about that, but she still wears it really well.
You wouldn't wear it in London.
Oh, for sure. Not in London.
But here.
And she kind of hurries down the path, almost trips, but almost. And it's kind of like out of breath when she like reaches you.
Oh, Catherine, my dear. I wasn't sure you'd make it.
I've been thinking, and you know what? Like I don't have a reputation anyway, so why think about like what others might think that I like be dependent on like whatever else and whoever else, and I'd much rather depend on you than on.
And I think I sort of take both of her hands in mine if she lets me.
Of course.
And say, I did not mean to imply anything improper. I would very much. I just did not want to say this in a letter, but I would very much like it if you would agree to marry me. And then, it would not be. It would not be depending on me as much as all that is mine would be yours.
Oh, and she kind of looks down and like, that's.
I'm sorry if I was too forward. You want time to think that is understand.
I just haven't thought about this. But yeah, I think this could work.
That is wonderful.
Morph in the background overhearing this, like kind of like evil cartoon fashion.
Ears getting bigger and bigger. Wonderful. And I think that I offer her my arm and escort her in.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So good. We should do a different group that doesn't involve either of those characters next. Maybe.
Maybe Clara and Prudence.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, that's you. I did not make a pick for Prudence, but imagine her as a blonde. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Clara. Clara is like deliberately not looking for Lottie at the moment, and I think she'll find Prudence. What's Prudence doing in this ball?
Prudence is too many options. Is she snacking at the snack table? Is she picking up fun pebbles on the beach? Is she Is she down at the water with her shoes off and her feet in the water?
I'm leaving it off to you.
That sounds nice.
I think it's that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Clara just kind of like walks up and just kind of like calls your name, like Prudence. Prudence.
Hi, Clara. So nice to see you.
Yeah. Yes, it's nice to see you too. I would have thought you'd be joining in the revelries.
Oh, I will. It just I was slightly warm and wanted to test how the water felt.
Huh. Do you mind if I test along with you? And before you could even say, Clara's like slumping down next to you already.
Yeah, I think Prudence just like a huge smile.
So what did you think of Miss St. Clair?
Oh, Miss St. Clair is she seems wonderful, but she seems sad.
I think Clara like looked up and she said, "Seems wonderful." It's like, well, seems. What makes you say that?
uh, she, I don't know. I saw her coming back from a walk, and she looked absolutely content. But then later, I saw her walking about with her cousin. What is her cousin's name? The
Veruca Montgomery.
yes, that
Veruca
one.
Montgomery.
And she just looked
Oh yeah.
very defeated, I would say.
Defeated, huh? You hear like one of Clara's like hands is on the beach, kind of like clench up a bit. So you hear like the stones kind of like wrestle at that. well, well, I'm glad that you found her wonderful. Did she? What did she say about me?
Oh, her. I'm trying to think of when Prudence actually talked to her. I think it was when she was coming back from her solo walk. So she was absolutely surprised and delighted to hear that you were here. And she just wanted right away to know where she could contact you. So I hope you don't mind. I gave her the information.
No, no, I don't mind. Perhaps if I had more time, but okay, Prudence. I think no one here in this town doubts that you're a bright, imaginative girl. What do you think of myself and the Lady St. Clair?
The Lady St. Clair. What I I'm not used to having my opinion asked for like this.
Well, people should, because you're brimming with an ocean of good opinions, and quite frankly, people should care about them a bit more.
I think Prudence blushes and says, "Thank you." I think that I think you should talk to her. I think that's a better idea than me trying to say anything. I don't really know her that well.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
If you don't mind, I got a little bit nervous when I was in there earlier. Do you have an idea who I should talk to when I go back in?
I think like Clara like looks over like her shoulder at the festivities, and I think she kind of says, "Well, far be it for me to just choose, but if you need to push, I've always found you've heard of the orderlies, right? They've come by fairly recently as well.
Yes.
They have a girl your age who I dare say might prove to be a match for for yourself."
Prudence is blushing even harder now.
And I think at that, like, Clara like stands up with just a bit more confidence in her step, and she says, "Well, far be it for me to show a bad example, not follow through with your advice. If I don't go through what you said with such confidence, how can you go through your own life with your own confidence?" Prudence, by the end of this night, I expect to hear whatever contact you've made with Miss Fuchsia Orderly. Is that clear?
She like she was like very eager faced, and then it turns to determined, and she nods vigorously and stands up and says, "Yes, but would you mind introducing us?" And we don't have to have that scene, but like,
Yeah.
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 Oh, I love these good girls.
Oh, Jessica's so gay and sweet.
What would we like to see next? Clara and Lottie, maybe?
Ooh.
Or Prudence and Fuchsia, since both of those would lead off of this one.
Yeah, we've not seen Fuchsia. We saw Fuchsia barely.
Or we could do
Yeah.
oh yeah, let's do that.
If that's okay with you, Illy.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I guess Clara introduces them to each other.
Yeah, and I think Clara introduces them and kind of like probably tells a story about both of them. I'm not sure what the story is, just to try and break the ice.
Yeah.
Or bring you all the same level of awkwardness. and then flounces up to the drinks table.
I love the idea of flouncing in military wear.
Very good. So nice to meet you, Prudence. Are you from around here?
Yes. My family has an estate, a farm estate, just outside of town. I don't think you're from here, though. Where? Or are you? I guess you are from here. Never mind.
I am from here. I can't believe we've never met.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if I've seen you about town.
Oh, Father has kept me very, very busy with my schooling, and it is only now that my cousin is here that he permits me to go out more. My aunt, actually, not cousin. But it's really nice to see you.
It's nice to meet someone else that I don't know. I spend a lot of time with people my parents' age, and it's nice to meet someone younger.
Oh, I know. It is ever so boring.
Yeah.
They just talk and
They talk
about the weather.
What do you like to do? I like my I think she's starting to chatter a little bit. My parents, both of them, just they will just talk about all of the things I'm not interested in. They don't even talk about the things going around in town. They're talking about something happening overseas or the weather and things that I don't care about. So I spend a lot of time out on my own on the cliffs or in the meadows with the cows. And then she blushes hard and like looks away.
I do like going outdoors as well. It's this society events, they're grand and all, but there's this nice little place I found in the moors where the bushes just create almost like a cave, and you can sit in there. And I've made myself. It's almost like my little hideaway. I'll sit there with my books, and it's just
that sounds just like something I had
nice
as a child,
retreat.
but I could never find it again when I. That sounds
Would-
wonderful.
Would you like to see my hideaway sometime?
Yes, I think she she yeah, I can't say she's just blushing more, but she is.
Aw.
She's just
Aw.
red-faced. Yes, I would love to see that, and I'm so glad. It seems I just met you, but I had heard my parents said that, I mean, sometimes when I come back from my walks, my parents say, "Oh, this is not the way that other young ladies behave," and that I should do things in town and talk to people. But it doesn't seem. It seems like you also like to do that.
Yes, it's there's I've been so curious to meet all the new people who have been coming to town because I thought I might find a friend there, but they're some I some of them are nice enough, I suppose, but then they never stay very long, do they? And
Mhm.
this new girl, Veruca Montgomery, she's
I haven't met her
nice
yet.
to your face, but I feel like she looks down on us, for being from the country.
I'm imagining the two of them just like looking over at where Veruca is, and I don't know
Yeah.
what she's doing, but
I was actually imagining when the two of you were like talking about the people who just talk too much in the background. Like Veruca's like probably
regaling
just-
everyone with some story that nobody cares about, but is
Mhm.
pretending to care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, like she's totally been to Paris.
Yes.
Oh.
Absolutely, like like it's.
And she says Paris.
Oh.
Paris.
Yeah, I think that's probably.
Yeah. I was gonna
Was there
have
something?
it end with like Prudence asking Fuchsia to dance.
Oh yes.
like oh, since we both or like out of social gatherings, this seems like the most suited to us, since it is outdoors as well, and then etc 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 chatter
Mhm.
and very very roundabout way of asking if you want to dance.
Oh yes. Oh, I'd love to dance. I do love to dance.
Oh. Now in background scenes we can see those two doing whatever wild fun dance they do.
Oh yeah.
All right. I feel like Eric hasn't done anything yet this scene, so should we do something with
With Mom.
Mauve?
Okay.
Mauve and
I mean,
Veruca.
good. I mean, we can do that.
Well, what do you want?
That's the only Mauve scene we have listed, but
Oh,
we
we
can
have
do
Bob and
whatever.
Clara.
Mauve
Oh, yeah,
and
you're
Clara
right.
as well. I have like two suggestions for things. I kind of would like to do like Mauve and Clara first, because like Clara was about to like saunter over to the drinks table, and I think Mauve is there.
Perfect.
Mhm.
And like the other idea I have like with Veruca is that Mauve and Veruca are going to play shuffleboard at one point.
Let's do that later.
The other rich people thing. That's very boring, actually. I just had the idea. Wait a second, this also exists. I mean, you could also like there's a croquet something on the beach, but I kind of like shuffleboard because it's what people play when they're on cruises. So
Yeah.
yeah. So let's Clara and Mauve at the drinks table.
Yeah.
I think maybe we don't really like recognize each other at first. Like Mauve is just like I don't know, like staring somewhere else and having I don't know how many glasses of wine at this point. Like, being kind of like very like frustrated and like, not very sure what to do.
Yeah, I think Clara is only having her first, but it's going to be the first of many. And hold on, I need to look away at Twitch chat because they noticed the thing. And yeah, so like Clara's like probably like, pouring her first, and like Mauve is like kind of just kind of snatches it maybe from the wine bottle.
Yeah.
And Clara's just like, I'm sorry, is there... Mauve, is that you?
Oh, Clara. What a nice uniform you're wearing.
Well, what a nice expression you have right now.
What a nice frown you're wearing.
You
Don't
Yeah,
get me
well.
started and like downs
Oh,
the
my cat
glass.
is yelling.
Pause the next one.
Well, no, I didn't mean to say. Well, okay, if we're gonna be in the influence under the influence, so to speak, I did kind of sort of meant to say, you look well.
Oh, do I? Because I'm not well. But anyway,
Clara reaches
how are
for
you?
the wine bottle.
How are you adjusting to? What? Sorry.
Oh no, Clara's just
Do you
like
want something?
No. I was just. How am I adjusting? You say?
Yeah. How are you adjusting to like to the life? Like, I guess back into like a regular bed and don't have like. Were you sleeping in bunk beds back at the military?
Well, there's sometimes the luxuries there. Sometimes, Clara takes a sip, but most of the time it's hard working. It's out in the field. You don't really get to choose where one puts their head down.
Mm. Yes. And like, what, like, did you encounter any adventures on your duty?
I feel like Mom is pressing for something very specific.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's fine. You mind if I suggest that it feels like you're pressing on that rumor that she was dishonored, that Clara was dishonorably
Oh,
discharged?
that makes sense.
I mean, I
Yeah.
could, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Like, because like in my mind, I was thinking, wait, if Clara really doesn't give a damn about a lot of things, how the heck did she stay in the military?
That would explain everything if that rumor is true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So can we say that like you, while pressing this, is kind of like spending that rumor?
I could do that, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
if you
it.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna cross out that rumor, and I think you can see Clara.
I mean,
just-
I could press it a bit more if you want, like that it's a bit more clear.
Go for it.
Yeah, we can keep going. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like I think she doesn't even like let you start and like, you know what I've heard. And like I've heard that you didn't really leave the military on your own volition. Is that true?
I think like Clara was like a smile was forming her face because Mob was clearly like off in another place, but then she kind of like freezes, and she says, "Well, I don't think I've heard that said anywhere," which is a lie.
Clara's been to confession.
Well, it's true that I'm currently away off duty from the military at the moment, I fail to see how my departure happened could be of anyone's interest. Really,
I'm
Mo.
just like, I mean, we're related, right? Like, I don't see how there's anything wrong with us like talking about things in our personal lives. Like, I want to know what like what like how you're doing and if things are going well, and if not, if there's any way like me or other members of our family can assist you. Like, that's what like family is for, right? That we are there for one another.
Well, I've seen the chart that claims that we are linked by family, and quite frankly, I understand the Bible more readily.
Oh, this is something we both have in common. Quite a mess, right?
Clara reaches her glass out. If you can pour her another one.
Yeah.
I'm honestly touched, cousin, that you'd care so much about my welfare. In fact,
Of course I do, and like puts a hand on your shoulder shortly and then puts it away. like gentle, like, yeah. And but I don't want to touch you for long because it gets awkward.
yeah, clearly. In fact, and I think Clara like downs like half her glass. In fact, most people in our family seems to demand so much of me. Just follow propriety. You know, I'm glad that for once, Mom, someone in our family, whether we may be related or not, it's the jury's still out. I'm glad that for once, someone, and she takes another sip, showed some concern.
I mean, like, expectations are like high for anyone from our standing, right? Like, what I could. Where do I start? Like, what I have to suffer from?
Start at the beginning. It's always a good start. And Clara's taking the bottle and pouring another.
I think we can like do a scene here, like with the last thing Morph says is like, "What do you know about lawn bowls?"
Oh, the best.
And then, like, I don't know, like we get like in the subsuming scenes, we get always like somewhere in the background we hear like some like Morph like keep talking, and then then they did this and just, like, rambling about.
I want to use another mechanic of Good Society.
Sure.
Just going to show it off. There's a thing called a monologue token. And basically, each player has one monologue token at the start of each cycle. You may play your monologue token on another player at any time during the game. When you do so, the other player must reveal their major character's inner monologue, disclosing their thoughts, feelings, and plans. It's only inner, so only the players and anyone who's watching will get to know. And you don't have to like actual proper monologue, like, you know, you don't have to do a Shakespearean soliloquy. You can just say what your thoughts are. So I want to play this on Mauve, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
I want to know if she had if she did make a genuine connection with Clara, or is this all just part of the plan?
I think it's actually a genuine connection, because like Mauve is like secretly very frustrated with her family in general and how her larger family is treating her. Because like I was like kind of alluding to it like at the beginning in the scene with Marjorie, that like Mauve felt compelled to like do whatever she did at the lawn bowl event, because she felt that her like parents always thought of her to never get anything right in some way, and she wanted to prove them wrong and wanted to win at something. And because she wasn't like confident enough to do it on her own terms, she like instead of also cheating outright, outright, she tried to like frame someone else like her like main competition of cheating and winning that way. And like it blew up in her face, and now she's basically like incredibly frustrated with her position. Like at like in one point she thinks like she like deserves everything she has, and like basically the wealth of her family and like basically her extended family is hers in some way. But also she like understands that like there are like expectations on her that she doesn't really want to fulfill and want to do like something on her own, like that
So
doesn't.
is she actually like a bit worried / desperate about not actually getting the inheritance because she has caused this scandal?
I think that also, yeah.
I've got bad news about Lady Marjorie's and
Yeah,
No.
I mean that's
not going
part of-
anywhere
that's-
anytime soon.
Why are they going to Lottie?
yeah, I mean, now it kind of gets interesting because, like, when like Lottie and Clara get married, like Lottie might get like, I don't know how inheritance works, but it might be beneficial for Morphle, you both to get married too, so that you're out of the way.
Oh, true.
But yeah, it's not like there are like other motivation of why Morph wants that inheritance, like in general, like, but that's inheritance, but that's different thing. But yeah, it's like I think there's a way where where Clara and Morph are kind of like connecting in that both kind of don't really like this whole like social thing, but like their perspectives on things and like why they don't like it is completely different in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It's great.
That was lovely.
All right, what scene would we like to see next?
We haven't seen Lottie.
Should we do Lottie and Clara or Lottie and Catherine?
Ooh.
I think Lottie depends on like who wants to go twice in a row.
Eric and Zero, who wants to go? You both were in the last scene, so.
I would kind of like to have Lottie and Clara at like to finish it off. I think it would be like nice. So
yeah, I'm just checking the time. In terms of, I might have been a bit pessimistic saying this might be it. We might be able to get one more novel chapter.
Yeah, in that case, I think like just from a structural point of view, it's probably nice to leave the sort of unresolved issue till the last.
Okay. Which there's a couple of unresolved issues.
Oh no, I meant the Lottie and Clara.
Okay.
Thing, because they've been sort of tiptoeing around each other.
I also mentioned that I would like a Lottie and Veruca after Lottie and Clara, but that could be if we have time for another novel chapter. That could be then. After the ball, that would make more sense.
I do want to spend. Sorry, I just want to keep doing these mechanics. I do want sorry, I might have missed something. Like, so we're not doing Lottie and Clara right now.
No.
Okay. So I do want Lottie to see Clara.
Oh yes.
Probably the reason why they don't talk is because Clara has gotten quite a bit drunk. She's
and you're also busy.
I'm also busy with Veruca, so I can't exactly.
And Clara is busy with listening to Morph.
They're trading stories now.
Yeah. So I think I'd like to do Lottie and Catherine, and I think it's like Lottie is standing with Veruca, who's telling these stories about Paris, and and there's like a gathering of people around her, like giving her lots of attention, and Lottie is not paying attention and is like looking over at Clara, and being like, please come rescue me. But Clara's not paying attention. And then Catherine, I wonder if it's like, would Catherine go and talk to her daughter if she saw her, or would she try to avoid her? Because we don't know, because I don't know that you're there.
What I
Yeah.
think that might work is like when you're looking at Clara, maybe
Oh, I just
Catherine
happened to see
just
Catherine
like
walk
crosses
past.
your
Yeah.
view, and you're like, huh?
Yeah. Was that? Did I see my mom?
And Catherine also doesn't know that you're there.
She does know, or she doesn't know?
Okay. I wanted
you're asking.
like to ask, like, yeah.
I don't think either of us know that the other is there.
Okay.
Catherine
good.
knows that Lottie is actually. Catherine knows that Lottie is here, that like
Okay.
in town. I don't know if she knows that Lottie is at the ball. But maybe she saw her when she got here and is like, oh, obviously she would be here. I should have thought of that before.
And kind of maybe forgot to talk to her because like
exactly.
something else happened.
Yeah. She was distracted by Lady Marjorie.
Fair.
Fair. Says the player who plays Lady Marjorie.
Like,
it's very distracting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes,
Lottie like just slips away from Veruca without Veruca really even noticing. I think she says something to her like, I'll be back in a minute. But Veruca just continues on with her story. And
they
Lottie...
call these croissants.
Okay.
Sorry.
Lottie is chasing after Catherine, like weaving between people, and then like calls. I'm like, does she call out Mother, or does she say like?
I
or does
think
she just,
so,
like,
right?
Take her shoulder. I think she would.
Depends on how much you want to like make a scene.
Yeah. No, I think she calls out Mother. Like
Lottie?
Yeah.
She turns around. Oh, I was meant to see you. Oh, I forgot. Like, I knew you like were probably here, but
what are you?
So much happened.
What are you doing here?
Oh,
is everything okay back home?
Yes. Everything is good.
Everything
is good.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is good. Like, I mean, I haven't like I actually got a letter from Lenny just before I left, and he sends his greetings and like he's doing well.
Thank you.
Things are looking good. Everything is kind of good actually, and she like blushes slightly and looks away.
So what? Why are you here? I'm happy to see you. I missed you, but
oh no, I know this might look like I'm like running after you, but I'm actually here to like I was actually here to like visit someone else, and looks around and do you know Lady Bithersea?
Does Clara know Lady Bithersea? No, I mean, does Lottie know Lady Bithersea?
You haven't been introduced yet, right?
No.
No, you probably know of her because she's hosting the party, so Veruca's probably been talking about her.
Oh, Lady Bithersea is the wonderful woman who is hosting this party, but I haven't met her yet, other than just a.
Yes.
Do
you want to meet her? I could introduce it right now.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
She like grabs your hand and like seeks Lady Bithersea out. Like, I don't know, probably through like a crowd of people or whatever.
A little reminder that that Lottie and her mother look almost exactly alike, other than her mother is older and slightly shorter than her, or quite a bit shorter than her. And they're both dressed in out of fashion clothes.
Marjorie, like I have to introduce like.
Lottie's eyebrows raise at the first name terms.
Introduce you to someone.
Oh, is this your lovely daughter?
Yes, this is Lottie. Lottie, this is Lady Marjorie Bithersea.
I'm so pleased to meet you. She holds out her hand. Thank you for this wonderful party.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, my dear. You've only recently arrived here, haven't you?
Yes, just these past 2 weeks.
Ah, lovely. And has your mother given you the good?
I think Lottie just like looks at Catherine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should.
I kind of wanted to do that like with you. Like, it felt like inappropriate to like just tell her and that not have her meet you at first, but
of course. I'm sorry. I do get
Lottie's
carried
just
away
back and forth
sometimes.
between them, like her eyebrows getting higher and higher. Like, what? But she's also has like a slight smile on her face.
Okay. I think Catherine takes Marjorie's hand, and then you see, Lottie, like I've actually been like visiting Marjorie lately. How long do we know each other now? Like, I actually don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we've known each other for a long time, but only recently reconnected.
Yeah, this works. Like, we actually like knew each other like for quite a while, but
when we were children, or
like
young.
how things are with children and all that. He'd kind of lose time and then lose contact with each other. But yeah, I've been visiting her, and
now we've reconnected, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's
You've reconnected.
Well, you see, your mother. Is it? Do you want to tell her?
I'm in love with Marjorie, and we are going to get married. When, I don't know, but it's going to happen.
Lady Marjorie raises.
I think this was
That
what
was
we
blood.
were talking about, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, just
Good.
blood.
Good. And like,
So, and yes, just tonight, your lovely mother agreed to be my wife.
like, for a moment, I was like afraid I missed something.
No. No, that was absolutely what we were talking about.
Lottie is just watching this like back and forth. And
that means you don't have to watch Veruca anymore.
Wait. So she was like her expression was like confused, and then like a slight smile, and then like amusement, and then like happiness, and then like a confusion again. Wait, what? Wait, hang. I need a minute.
Sure, take your time, and it's a lot. I can understand.
It sure is.
This is so unexpected, but so wonderful. Mother, and she like blushes a bit, and she's like, I have to confess, I suspected that you might be seeing someone, and I was just waiting for you to feel ready to tell us. This is better news than I expected, but and then she just like gives you a hug.
That's good.
Oh.
I don't have anything else.
In the background, Clara is shouting something about the military. She's saying like King George the Fourth, more like King George the Fart.
Oh my god, then okay.
I think
My
Morph
scene
laughs way too loud at that.
I know that the scene of Lottie with Clara has to be Lottie coming over trying to quiet Clara down because she's like, I need to make sure that Clara's reputation is intact so that I can not ruin our marriage prospects.
Yeah, because you're moving up in the world.
Yeah.
And Clara's not.
She was like, as this conversation with her mom was happening, she's like, oh, maybe I don't even have to worry about Clara's reputation because I will like be up there again. And then she hears Clara just yelling out
About the king. Oh gosh.
Do we like have like go? Do we want the Morph Veruca shuffleboard scene? Or like should we like skip it and go?
How much time do we have?
We had, like,
it is
5
11.
past
We have-
5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not 5 at your place.
Yeah. We should probably take another break in a bit, but we should finish up this scene probably first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we do so the other one we had was Mauve and Veruca, which we could be an epilogue thing if we want to just throw that in later.
Sure.
I just want to hear you two talk to each other in character more because it's
I mean, if it's an epilogue, then it's probably then lawn bowling
Yeah.
because
Yes!
it's like
so we can just say for now that they're playing shuffleboard in the background, but Mauve
so Mauve has moved on.
Mauve got tired of Clara and went, and Veruca was looking.
Maybe Lottie like pried
Yeah.
Clara away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly. And Veruca went looking for Lottie, but ended up finding Mauve instead. Yeah. All right, so we should do Clara and Lottie scene.
Yeah.
So I think it's like right after that, she's like to her mom and Lady Marjorie, excuse me, and like runs over to where Clara is. And
Yeah,
she's like,
I think.
Clara, it's so wonderful to see you.
Do you like prize her away?
Yes, like
Or take
taking
her out?
both of her hands, like taking whatever she has in her hand out and taking both of her hands. Being like,
Yeah.
Morph says something like, "You have fun, you two," and then like slumps over. Drunk.
Oh my god.
Not depressed really, but like drunk. Like,
Oh my god.
it's okay, Veruca will
have
come cheer
fun.
her up. Anyway, with stories of Paris.
Those are going to be so exciting.
Clara, it's a bit of a mess. Some of her buttons have been unbuttoned. Her jacket's a bit unbuttoned. Actually, there are some buttons that are like mismatched. She looks a bit disheveled, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, what was it you said to?"
Clara, it's so wonderful to see you. Finally, she's saying this as a this is for everyone else to hear. This is not we need to have this a conversation, a nice conversation right now necessarily.
Yeah. It's like, Lottie. Oh, yeah. Lottie, hi, hello. Yeah, yes, it is lovely. It's superlative. It's fantastical. Hello. How do you do?
I think Lottie like puts your hand in her elbow and it's like starts walking. It's like, I think we should go for a walk.
Sure, walks are bracing. That's what I've heard. Yeah, yes, lead the way.
She's still talking loud. Like
Yeah. She thinks she's whispering.
and we go. Lottie leads her out onto the beach, And then I think like once we're a little bit away from the pavilion, like stops and like turns to her and is like, may I? And starts trying to fix your buttons.
I think Kara goes like really still. I kind of, and she just kind of like nods.
Mhm. It is wonderful to see you. Are you all right?
You can. I think at that like Clara kind of like a bit of clarity kind of comes back to her.
The
She says,
bracing sea air.
yeah.
What
And she's
short? Sorry. Can I spend a resolve
Go
token
for
to
it.
let it start raining?
Yes.
oh my god.
Like, do you want a rain or a rainstorm to be happening?
Just a light
Ah.
rain to start, maybe.
A light rain. Okay.
I mean, it's your resolve token. You could do whatever you want.
You know, I mean, I want to help. To make it more, I mean, it's more cool if it happens in the rain, right?
Yep.
yeah.
Who wants it?
I think if it's like let me double check. There's a sheet here for references that I'm looking at. For the computer change, it just goes away basically.
Okay,
Yeah. So
and it's gone.
yeah, it's yeah. So it starts raining, and I think Clara getting hit in the face with rain, kind of like it was like sober her up immensely, and the parties I think is like the party's obviously breaking up. There's like a mix of people running for the pavilion and
Yeah.
like people running for back home, right? I think what Clara does is she kind of like stops your hands from fix her up, and she starts unbuttoning and taking off the jacket.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and she's just like she kind of like puts it over your head, and she just kind of like says, "Come with me," and because she knows where a shelter is. She's been here for a while. And it's probably like underneath like a cliff or something. It's like a cliff overhang.
Mhm.
And I think what Lottie would notice is like, oh, this actual part of the beach is like proper sand.
Nice.
And I think like Clara like puts like the jacket on like your shoulders, and then kind of like just slumps down and sits down like next to like the cliff wall.
Yeah, Clara will sit down gingerly beside you.
Do you mean Lolly?
I mean, yes, Lottie will sit down gingerly beside you. I've missed you.
Even after what you just saw.
I think she laughs a little as she says, "Well, that's why I asked if you're all right. But of course I still miss you. I know you."
I should be the one who should be asking if you're all right. That's you already have so much to look after. You don't need another mess to clean up.
I mean, I don't think of you as a mess to clean up. I think she just like takes your hands again. I just worry that you might. She's like trying so hard not to offend you. I'm just worried that some that people would see that, and they would speak out against us.
Well, to hell with those people, right? I think like a bit of the drunkenness kind of comes up, and then she kind of like slumps forward a bit, and she says, "No, that was a stupid thing to say. I I shouldn't be. You already have so much to worry about. I shouldn't be another thing to put on your shoulders, Lottie. You like. I think because her hands kind of like one of her hands kind of like comes out of your grip to like put them over your hands.
Mhm. I was gonna say, Claire, like Lottie was almost taking her hands away when you said that, but if you do that, then she'll
Yeah.
keep them there. It. I hope you understand. It doesn't matter to me. Uh, It's I'm just I can't. I have to follow what my family wishes. I mean, maybe it will change. And she like smiles slightly. It's like there's a possibility, but I don't want to to rely on that to fix everything. I, but please don't think that changes the way I think about you.
I would never think poorly of you. Not like that.
And you still want this?
Lottie, all I could ever need is she almost says this, but I think she nearly says it, but then she like changes it to you.
Lottie's gonna kiss her if that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. um. Yeah.
Yeah, where
I think
do you want to
that's
go from here?
no. I was just imagining that like we would start talking about other things after that, but and we don't need to
Yeah,
have that on screen, but just
yeah,
we have that. hmm And we
yeah.
like we just stay here until the rain stops and like everyone else has left.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we're just like talking for hours.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
sweet.
for a good long time.
hmm All right. Is that everything we want to do in the at the beach ball?
I think once I spent the token, the ball was done. So
Yes.
yes,
I just meant if anyone wanted to do something earlier or whatever that was happening at
like
the
we
same
Yeah.
can't
time.
really
But
top that.
I think
think.
we're good with
Yeah.
what we have done. Should we do a short 5-minute break again and then
Wrap up.
wrap up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good.
We will see
Okay.
everybody in 5 minutes. Don't forget to donate. Donate.rollplusbond.com. We are currently at just past $1,800. Thank you
Ooh.
to thank you to Most Ardently in honor of Be Good and Rewatch It, the on hiatus podcast that brought us Austin's Superman slash Darcy fanfic musings. Everyone should go and listen to that podcast. It's good. We also got a $5 donation from TS and a yes, and that is what brought us over the 1800 mark. We'll see everybody in 5 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
BRB.
are back. Hello.
Hey.
Really quick, we were just talking about a couple of things. Zero, do you want to?
Yeah, because I think kind of evident why I love this game. Why it's kind of my favorite game, and folks seem to be interested. So I kind of want to add for like the reward stuff that like I want to add one copy of Good Society, the base game, which I'll be paying out of my own pocket, but that's perfectly fine. So that's going to be part of the rewards, and whoever will pick, I'll contact them and buy them a copy of Good Society.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people were interested in the chat, so we thought that might be a good idea. Zero thought that was Zero's
Yeah.
idea. Thank you, Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to mention that in the last like scene, like the ball scene, I was picturing a very specific animation style happening, which is, I don't know if anyone has ever seen those like very low budget 2D animations where it's just like it's like a painting or whatever, and then the characters move like just like every second or so, and they move like it's like stop motion, but like very, very like choppy
Yeah, they're like
stop motion.
cardboard
Yeah, like cutting
cutouts
forward,
or something.
and like it's always just like still shots. There's no like fluid movement, and then so it's that, but it's with like the art style of the Good Society PDF, and it's just someone narrating in the background in the style of Jane Austen. So that's what I've been picturing.
Very good.
So we finished the second novel chapter, and we are going to start wrapping up now. So that means we skip reputation because we're not playing anymore.
Yep.
And let me go back to the PDF or the spreadsheet. I hear somebody's music.
Oh no, that's an ice cream truck. Passing by.
There's an ice cream truck passing by Zero's house.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because we just went through a storm.
I was gonna say it's like winter time. What? Okay.
Yeah. What?
That's wild.
What's up with...
That's a very pleasant sounding ice cream truck.
Oh yeah, no, it's lovely. I've never had any because it's never the right weather when it pops by.
The ice cream truck that only comes in stormy weather.
Sounds like that.
That's a story for another game.
Like the upcoming game.
Yeah. Ooh. I wonder if they have any ideas yet. Someone tell them about our
ice cream truck.
Ice cream truck in the storm. It doesn't have a driver. Ooh.
It only has one type of ice cream.
Yeah. Okay, so we've done the novel and we are skipping reputation, so we're on to epistolary, but instead of epistolary, we do epilogues for our major characters, and if you want to mention minor characters as well, you can. This is also a point where we have to spend the rest of our monologue tokens. So far, we've only had one major character do a monologue, so we will have to do that if anyone has. Should we do that first and then do like closing shots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that first.
So
normally you don't have to do that, but it'd be nice to like.
I think get that.
Nice to spend them.
Yeah.
Do we have to be specific about what we want the monologue to be about?
It's nice for the other player if you ask a question, but it can just be like, "How are you feeling right now?" or like something like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's absolutely
specific.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute because that ice cream truck is making me.
So Zero has already spent his token. We have to be a little bit aware of who's spending it on who, so that we don't have you spending your token on yourself.
Yeah.
I think I want to spend mine on Clara.
Okay.
Just.
Guess we're spending ours on each other then, Ely.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of interested just in like the way, like, because Clara and like Morph had some kind of interaction that was beyond like some like petty like barbs at each other. There's like if they develop some kind of understanding, or if it's just like boss gets up official, like on Clara's end.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is kind of like this is probably like this monologue's happening like day after Clara's sobered up in many ways. And yeah, I think her mind kind of like just drifts to Mauve a bit, and trying to figure out if I should do a full monologue or just describe what's happening. What time is it? I think her mind kind of like drifts to Mauve, and I think like Clara, like, yeah, I think if Mauve feels like a connection's made, I think Clara would feel like that connection's made. I think it's kind of like Clara's thinking something along the lines of, that it seems to me that perhaps Mauve or Orderly and myself have quite a bit in common, which, if you had told me this a few winters ago, I would have tossed you into the Thames for impugning on my character. Though I don't know if that would be an insult or a compliment to Mauve, honestly. Perhaps I should speak to her more often. It feels that we can have more productive things done than just tossing barbs at each other. I think, honestly, given the events of what happened after the ball, that's kind of like the most Clara thinks about Mauve.
Yeah.
That's like also like a very Mauve thing. Like, what do you think about me after? What about me? Just realize how like it was a bit insensitive on my end.
No, it's fine. If Mauve had to ask, no, it's fine. It's great. Yeah,
it's excellent.
I haven't thought that through. Sorry, that's like.
Don't worry, I have the epistolary to do another monologue. That's how we treat letters anyway, as monologues.
Yeah. I need to think of a question for Lady Marjorie.
I have one for you. How do you feel about the changes in your family's fortune, or do you even see it as that?
I think Lottie is very careful about being hopeful right now. Like she sees that she's not worried about whether she's not worried about Lady Marjorie and Catherine being in love. She can see that. She is happy for them. But she has the same sorts of worries that Catherine had about being dependent on someone else.
Yeah.
And she hasn't had the reassurance that Catherine has yet. So so she's just like, she's hopeful, but she's trying not to be too hopeful. Yeah. But she does think that things are looking up for sure. And like when she's spending time with Veruca afterwards, she's kind of like, she's less annoyed because she's like, maybe this will be over soon. Yeah. Question. I feel like I have to say this question, even though I feel bad because it's not what the focus of the story has been at all. But like it is in at least one person's desire. Is who is Lady Marjorie giving her inheritance to, even if it's not now, but in the distant future?
Oh gosh. I don't know, man.
This is the thing I was also going to ask earlier when you were mentioning, like, I think you mentioned several different houses that she owns.
Yeah. I mean,
so
honestly,
is it?
she probably just spreads them around.
That's
She
nice.
seems like the sort of person who would do that, who just wants everyone to have a good life. She'd probably give Clara and Lottie something as a wedding gift, maybe maybe, I don't know if she'd give them a house, but
I mean, that's
And
not
that's
an unheard
presuming
of
you get
thing
married.
I was like, that's not an unheard of thing in the Regency era of
Yeah.
just
So,
giving someone a house as a wedding present.
But I don't think she'd have like a sole heir. She'd probably just spread it around.
Nice. I like that. So, shall we move on to epilogues?
Yeah.
We kind of hinted. I had this is not for my character, but I had an idea while Zero, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah,
that
no,
came into
that's
my
fine.
head when Zero was talking about
We have more time than I thought.
what Claire was thinking of Mauve. Yeah, I was like, we could play out some of these epilogues if we want to, like small little scenes.
Yeah,
like
it's fine.
visitations
It's
type
fine.
things.
We have plenty of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is we could play them out if we want to, because we have time. I think that the idea that popped into my head when you were talking about Mauve is like, what if Clara and Mauve end up like being able to work together, and then they start some business together or something. Like they end up being business partners, and it like kind of helps them both be out of the whatever scandals they were.
Escape the throes of high society by being capital.
That's what popped into my head, but of course, it's your character.
I kind of like the idea. Kind of plays in what I had in mind.
They start an ice cream carriage. That's a joke.
Yeah. They walk around the beach, ringing a bell.
Yeah, does
I know,
that sound good
like
to you,
that,
Eric?
you guys can maybe say what if you have ideas what the business would be.
That's fine.
What would those two do?
What would they get up to?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be some kind of sport.
Yeah.
Sport like organization. Some
Yeah.
They could like
coaching.
Yeah.
Yes, but it could also be like, and would still be kind of like close to like high society stuff, just running a club. Like,
yeah. Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know, like
They open a club in
maybe
Bashful-upon-Sea.
maybe it's like something very like modern and futuristic, which is lawn tennis.
Yes, yes.
Because like lawn tennis kind of like replaced croquet in like the mid 19th century.
That's
like
amazing.
You've
the
researched
Wimbledon Sports Club was actually a croquet club at first.
Wow.
With tennis.
So is it like Clara and Mauve? Like there's like a croquet club that is like closing down, and they're like, we could take over this business.
I do want to ask though, how does this Mob Veruca thing end up?
Oh yes, we do need to also know that.
Yeah.
Can we please have a small conversation?
Like, just in general, I haven't really like thought about this in that way, and like also like for me, I don't think that Morph is actually that much interested in like staying like in that kind of like circle when she was already kind of fed up with it, and like in some ways.
Nice.
Like, and then someone who's like so incredibly into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like into the, I've been to Paris, you know, and
I think honestly
that
over there, and
makes a lot of
like,
sense.
I think honestly Veruca is probably the same in inverted wise.
Yeah.
We just have good chemistry, Eric. That's just how it is.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that's
Veruca
fine.
goes back to town basically on her own. like
I don't know, maybe they play shuffleboard on the next day and maybe like lawn bowls, but like we get maybe a shot of Morph like listening to him and then thinking to herself, really, like, is this like really And
Or
that's-
like, is this what
Do I
would,
want
Is
this?
this what I
Yeah.
looked like to people?
yeah, that's and also like, do I want this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what was the question? Like, is this what I want, or like, do I want maybe something else? Like in general, I was thinking like, if we were to like play this for longer, I would probably like, if it were possible to change the desire to something else, like in
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely. That's
That is the thing
yeah.
you can
it's
do later. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's doesn't really like fit anymore.
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely.
I
That's
really
that's the
love the
thing for
way
like
that Mauve like developed over this game. But anyway, we should
Yeah.
continue
Yeah.
epilogue before we talk about things
Yeah.
we loved about this game. I'm
What
sad we didn't
about
have a
Lady
Brooks
March?
scene, I realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm
Maybe
very.
that'll be my epilogue. I
Yeah.
think that is
Yeah,
what
we
it
can, we
is.
can give
It's,
epilogues to all these connections as well. It's
Um,
fine.
I'm not
Can
sure
I-
we have the time for it all, but
Can I do
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
epilogue? I think it's Lottie and Clara up at Brooks's cottage. Like, and we are wedding planning for my mother's wedding
Ah.
oh,
with Brooks.
Yeah, and Clara doesn't know how to match colors.
I
And
think
she's not good at it.
yeah. Lottie and Brooks are doing most of the work, but
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. And
Clara's only suggestions are like, okay, no, you don't see that with that person because yeah, they don't like each other.
Yes.
She knows all the goss.
she's very good at that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's been to confession.
Yeah.
Sorry I made the same joke twice, but
It's a good one. Oh. Yeah, I think Brooks is also very excited. Like they don't usually like go in for these whole society events, but this is their hopefully future mother-in-law. So
it's also Claire's hopefully future mother-in-law.
yes,
Great.
yes, double mother-in-law whammy. So they better make it a good wedding.
Uh,
Oh.
and do we have an epilogue for Lady Marjorie?
I think it's probably just where we started. It's a very similar shot. You see the two of them walking through the gardens, arm in arm. Sort of you see them from the back first, and they're chatting away, and then the camera sort of pans around them, and Lady Marjorie bends down to pick a flower, only this time it's one that's in bloom, and gives it to her wife, and sort of you see the rings on their fingers.
Oh,
Hmm.
I kind of love that as a closing shot
Yeah.
for the whole
Yeah.
story.
Oh, but did everyone have
Did everyone?
an epilogue? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think so, right?
I think we all did. I don't think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't need to like.
Claire
I have a
was
letter, but I don't need
combined
to like.
with
Clarify.
Mauve's and Lottie's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
We all live happily ever after because we deserve it.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they deserve it.
Oh, I'm so happy with how this turned out. We were expecting so much drama, and it was like a lot less drama and just a lot of like wholesome building
It was
relationships.
very wholesome. Yeah. Even the mean girl
Yeah.
was very wholesome.
Yeah, like for me, it's like I said it in character creation. I didn't expect to make like an evil character, like in some way. Like that's kind of set out to be that,
Yeah.
and it's also like something I'm not that comfortable playing because I don't want to have like cause like people around me a bad time. So like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I tried to
Mhm.
find a way to like still like lean into
Yeah.
the like kind of snobby like without like going completely like, okay, I want to destroy everyone else's life around me.
Yeah, I really liked the way that you did that with Mauve. That was really
Yeah,
lovely.
I think it was just the right dose of. I mean, you need that even in a romantic comedy. You need a bit of intrigue there,
Mhm.
but I think it was just the right dose.
We have lots of time left, so if we want to like, if we want to do a little masks thing and be like, this is a favorite thing that I had. What were your stars from this game? What
Or did
any
someone
s-
have letters to do? Or
No,
I
I
think
think it's fine.
I think we've closed
Yeah.
the story. So
okay.
just like, what was your favorite moment?
Ooh.
There was a lot of good moments.
Yeah.
Like for me, kind of like looking at chat every once in a while, or almost all the time.
Yeah.
And seeing people's reaction to this stuff, especially like with the like when he said the name of the town and everyone kind of like lost it.
Very good.
It's good when you like make think about stuff like and try to come up with like stuff that's incredibly silly in some way and like people like it. It's always fun.
Yes, yes. And then Blunt Vicar, Dankworth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vicar Bertie Dankworth giving out confessions. That was great.
Gosh. I really liked the scene between Mauve and Clara at the ball.
Yeah, that was
Something really
great.
nice about that. And then also the Clara and Lottie one in the rain.
Yeah, that was cool.
Thank you for the
Very
resolve token,
romantic.
Eric.
Yeah, like,
Giving us a
I
rain
had the
scene.
idea. Okay, at some point it has to rain. Either because Morph is really frustrated and then it starts raining, or because of that.
Oh.
Like
Aw.
those were two things.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it was like way better to have it like at your scene.
Goodness. I loved Lady Marjorie. I just have to say the way that
Yes.
she like did her voice and like narrated her letter and just like the way she talked to everybody was just so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like I would
Aw.
like to know this woman and be her friend and be like have her be my mentor, please.
Aw. Lady Marjorie is good. I like. She's was nice to play her.
Mm.
Oh, no, there's a. Yeah, I can't even. Like, I'm a bit sad we didn't get to see more of some of the minor
Yeah,
characters.
I mean, we can
Yeah.
play
Probably
this game
would
again
have
if
in
we
a
want
full
to.
game, yes.
Yeah.
But it's just yeah, so
Yeah,
many
everyone
good
is waiting
characters.
for that Vicar and Teal scene.
There you go. Tune in
Yeah.
next time.
Oh yeah. Also, we've got rumors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should do plugs. We should, and then Zero, if you want to talk a bit more about the games. And just a reminder
Yeah.
to donate if you are enjoying this stream, and even if you're not, please donate too.
Especially if you're not.
Especially if you're not, donate in protest, please. Yeah, roleplusbond.com. We have had one more donation from Cole at Shatter Us, who said this whole endeavor shows how good society can be. Thank you all for the Good Society game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cole.
Thank you.
I thank you everyone for listening. I had so much fun sort of running this game. Thank you, Zero, for helping me. You can find me at Aredel, AREDHEL __. And you can also listen to a short little podcast that Zero and I were on It's an 8-episode miniseries called Flight of Magic. It's an actual play of Fall of Magic with a couple of other people from the server.
Yes, you should, because if you've been enjoying the music that's on the splash screens,
Yes.
that's the soundtrack of that podcast. And it's fantastic.
Who wants to? Illy, do you want to go next?
Okay, yeah, I'm Illy. You can find me on Twitter at hyperbole, I suppose. That's HYPHABOLE. I don't tweet much there, but you can find me there, theoretically.
And Eric?
You can find me on Twitter at Ernst Mocker. It's so difficult to say this in English. ERNSTMOKKA spelled. And you can I don't suggest you follow me there. I complain a lot about video games. It's not often a good time. I try to, but and you can find the games I'm making, most of them video games. One tabletop game called Corvid Capers, where you play a bunch of birds that steal stuff and do crimes and have fun. Over on mokka.itch.io. That's mokka.itch.io.
And Zero.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at lpondoc. That's LPONDOC. Just to shout out Good Society just a bit more. The base game is really good, and that it lets you do Jane Austen stories. But if you want to expand its scope, there's 4 expansions for it that are out now. The first one is called Sense, Sensibility, and Swordsmanship. Basically, do you want to turn this into Zorro, where instead of backgrounds you have mask identities, and there's a phase where you get to, I don't know, stop crime or commit crime.
Again?
Because
I love it, but...
because we're in a one-shot server.
Yes, this is true.
and honestly, the base games, they add quite a bit, and they'll need more than one shot. But we'll talk about it after the stream. There's another expansion called Pride, Prejudice, and Practical Magics, which as advertised, adds magic. It adds new details about how to do magic, start table of how to cast spells. There's desires or relationships about being prophesized for each other, that sort of thing.
Ooh.
And how to deal with that, which is great. There's Downstairs in the Abbey, which is basically if you want to do Downton Abbey, you get to control 2 main characters. One is the upstairs, landed gentry, and the other one is the downstairs servants. The maids, the butlers, the valets, who have their own desires, their own secrets, their own wishes, their own. Yeah, I know, it's amazing.
Inconceivable.
And the last one, which just came out today, actually, it's called Emma Forget Me Not. It's the sad one. It basically adds time skips, so you can do a story for 5 that spans 5-10 years. Have these lifelong desires that you try to fulfill, trying to protect your child as they grow up. There's it's really cool. There's 5 different ways to monologue. It's great. There's journal writing and dream having, and it's really good. Those aren't the only expansions. There's 2 more. They did a Kickstarter recently, funding a bunch of expansions. There's 2 more coming in the distance. One is Fae Court, which is, as it says, it's about fairies in a court. There's disputes about the court, and there's the I mentioned in the chat the murder mystery module, which is called Lady Susan P.I.
Oh, that's incredible. Lady Susan is
That's
good.
a
You should
good
read it.
name.
Lady Susan is a good book. You should read it. Also very short. Also, it's all letters. Anyway.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I should read
It's
that.
only 90 pages long. Anyway.
Anyway, I plugged too much stuff.
Can I do one more plug?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Yeah, because I wrote a game too, and it was so recently that I forgot to plug it. So especially if you're a fan of the podcast friends at the table, you might enjoy this game. It's called Make the Library Smile, and you can find it at ili.itch.io. Ili spelled I-L-I.
Is that like a new archives thing?
Yeah, it's a new archives thing.
A pattern magic game.
It's a pattern magic game.
Is amazing.
Also, if you want to play it with me, hit me up on the server.
Yes, I do. My hand is up in the air.
Very good.
I'll also mention, just for fun, if you enjoy Good Society and want more drama than what Zero and I got up to in this game, keep an eye out on our Twitters in the future, because we have something cooking for your listening pleasure. Don't forget to donate to donate.roleplusbond.com. All proceeds from this live stream are going to Raíces. And yeah, thank you for watching. Tune in a couple of minutes for Anomaly. We'll see if they use that ice cream truck.
If they do, someone tell me if they do, because then I will donate.
All right, we'll let you know. All right, thanks. And
thanks, everyone.
bye.
Great game. Bye.
Bye, folks.